Hello, everyone, and welcome to TMN Neo Face Crushing number 43. We're back after our like month-long hiatus to figure some things out. We got everything figured out, so we're back, and we're hopefully better than ever. If you aren't familiar with TMN Neo, don't know this is what we're doing here. We are a community-led continuation of the original Turning Mode Network, originally ran by Devin, not known as Romantic, or some other name that he's going by now, I don't know. With his unfortunate retirement from TO work and FGC stuff in general, us community members, including myself, have taken upon ourselves to, with his help, to continue on the TMN legacy and give the lesser-known, newer players a place to shine and show what they can do. I am your host for tonight, Zircon, here to bring you all some lovely BB tag action. Here with me tonight on the mic, we have two wonderful guests, somewhat occurring regular guests. We got Sykes and Lon. How are you guys doing?
Yo everyone, it's it's been a while since TMN has been back online, but it's also been a while since I've gotten a yap. So very excited, always happy to commentate for these TMN brackets. They're definitely one of my favorite tournaments ran in the BB Tag community and just the FGC at large. Always appreciate giving these newer players some time to shine. But I'm just here as a yapper and getting to yap with one of my favorite other yappers in this commentary booth. Why don't you introduce yourself, Sykes?
Hello everybody, I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. My name is Sykes, I'm a Mexican competitive player here in BBTech, and yeah, I couldn't have said it better. I'm so happy to be back here at the computer booth. So great to see TMN back in action. And it's great to see new faces and of course returning faces as well. But yeah, I'm very happy to be here tonight.
For sure. We got a nice sizable bracket and a uncountable amount of numbers because it's in the double digits, but no, it's actually really solidly sized bracket. I believe I want to say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 people? 13 people, I think?
14.
Yeah, 13 people. Yeah. 13,
yeah, someone DQ.
Yeah, someone did DQ. So yeah, nice, solid amount of people, and yeah, there's in all honesty, I'm not super familiar with the TMN scene as a large, at least compared to like some other people, especially like the TOs themselves. But this matchup right here, Fish Liquor going in by their bracket name, Takane, Usui, and Forgoten. Fish Liquor, a player that I am very familiar with. They are a person that, despite kind of filling in that kind of intermediate player role to like qualify for these TMN tournaments, I actually do get to see them quite a bit in other more generalized brackets. Very much a loyalist to a couple characters, recognizing this Noel Izayoi comp, but Forgotten, a player I'm not super familiar with, playing a team comp that I also haven't surprisingly seen before.
Indeed, I think that's one of the best things about TMN, the fact that you can you cannot expect anything. Something can happen, since it's new people, new person coming up. Sometimes not only you don't recognize the type of the player, but also they bring new stuff to the table, like brand new teams, brand new game plan. That's something I'm very interested to, because yeah, I recognize Fish Liquor in many brackets, but Forgotten, it's a name I haven't seen before, so I'm very excited what they're going to do.
Yeah, and for sure, and I always gotta say, you never can sleep on these beginner intermediate players, even though they don't have as much time compared to other people. They definitely bring something unique to the table here. But Fish Liquor gonna be starting off with some pressure. A JA gonna be sniping out that Noel, but Fish Liquor keeping it all real here, and unfortunately getting counter hit.
Coach 60 connects. But the 5 people. Oh, but they didn't. I believe they were able to get the counter hit and put Yuzuriha back in the corner until it drops. Wow, that's
not going to be punishing the burst here. Yeah, usually looking a little low here. Both of them going to be playing with their relatively high health characters. Fish Liquor got to be very careful, though, about what that Noel looks like. You're unfortunately dropping the combo here. Able to actually pick up two, but can't quite continue everything. Not going to be punishing that JCC on a block. This is looking good for Forgotten.
Nice, just trying to approach slowly but surely. Right now, Forgotten has all the advantage to goal. 5C, smashing. Sadly, they're able to. They're able to capitalize on it. They're able to stabilize it. But sadly, they got hit at the end. And Fish Liquor showing some signs of life. Getting super and getting hit at the end. And with that, now it's always a joy. Fish Liquor not looking that good.
But yeah, I'm definitely not looking so hot with that 5C, and Forgotten going to be taking the first game.
Yeah, very, very interesting. This time around, it's great to see that Forgotten, like, it's very, like, familiarized with what Yuzuriha is still. Yeah, Yuzuriha, it's a character that you don't see that often. When it comes to the meta, she's not that great, but she's not terrible either. She's just, like, very, like, high execution of what you can do. And I think it's, like, very wise to bring, like, a partner like Vatista, because Vatista has, like, very, like, stable, very nice assist that she can work with.
Yeah, generally when we look at Yuzuriha comps, the Yuzu Hilda is the primary one, and that team is very, very potent at creating space control. While I would say that Vatista doesn't quite have the same presence as, like, say, Hilda 4P, like you said, a lot of her assists have really good space control, really good coverage, and you can really utilize the teleports alongside them in order to create some pretty nasty pressure. So yeah, gonna be starting off a little bit here with the change up to the Black Yang.
See, these team switch is going to capitalize on this figure. I think this is, like, the main team that's usually used. So maybe they're more comfortable, and right now it's paying off, putting Forgotten in a very, very tough situation right on the bat.
I'm gonna be getting some pretty solid Oki here. Yeah, just... Ooh, okay. DP punish for all the way over here, even though Vatista cannot be counter-hit, going to be sealing her life out. And Fish Licker, just with the team swap looking a lot more comfortable, but going to be losing the trade on the incoming to Yuzu 5A. This is still pretty rough, however.
Correctly, just trying to approach. Oh, suddenly they got much. Oh, but they didn't believe the hit. At the end, Forgotten is level 1 resonance, 2 bars. Oh, suddenly they got jumped by the 5A. In a huge chunk of damage, they have 4K. But no, JC wasn't able to connect with it too far away, but it doesn't matter. They connects, and with that, Flicker takes the game.
Yeah, the team swap definitely proven to be quite useful there, showing a lot more comfortability compared to the Noel Izayoi. Like, Noel Izayoi is definitely a very Fish Licker unique team. It's not something that would be very traditional, I think, in terms of team synergy. And while, like, Bumblebee or Blake Yang, Blake Yang is also not a super traditional comp, I would say that combined with Fish Licker's general experience with Blake, alongside having more solid assist kits in the back in order to really facilitate Yang's gameplay, and Blake being a lot more tricky of a character to pin down compared to both Izayoi and Noel, it's I think it's going to be a lot more pressure that I think Forgotten has to kind of deal with. Even though they're also playing like a space control team, it's also a team that I think can get rushed down pretty easily.
Regardless, right now we start the third game, they're able to but 5E connects, they're able to stabilize it with the bar, but suddenly they drop. Polishing the boards, however, now putting Forgotten in a very tough situation right in the corner.
Yep, and Fish Licker's got that tech chase Oki down. Definitely one of those things you gotta look out for, especially if you're not like super used to it. Like, no matter what direction you tech there, like, Blake will chase you down, so you always gotta be ready to block a potential cross-up.
We got straight off 5C, no fear whatsoever. 5C for damage. Able to put themselves back, but super avoiding it all together. That was nice. Sadly, they got hit, but luckily for them, they had enough for a burst, keeping Yuzuriha safe.
Very good utilization of the Yuzuriha teleports, but this Vatista is definitely taking quite a bit of damage. I think with the starter, this shouldn't be a kill, but putting both characters basically in a one-touch range, next hit is kind of just to decide who you want to die angle, unless you get a nice happy birthday there. Yeah, not going to be going in for the DHC for additional damage, but suddenly this is quite an even game here, but Vatista will be going down. Yuzuriha not looking too hot, and with that 5A, no, it's not going to be dead even with a cross rate, but this is dangerous for everybody.
Resonance, oh nice, 5P to steal corner. With that, Fish Licker takes the game. Right now I think we are 2-1. very very well done. Just as you mentioned, like team swap really was like night and day for Fish Liquor, since I think they're like more comfortable, more used to the team. That's very very nice. And but still, Forgotten has to really show that even though this team is kind of like odd pick, kind of unorthodox, you usually will see both characters pick up with like other characters. It's like they're able to make it work and make something out of it. That's something of word of recognition, and I really happy to see brand new things.
Yeah, for sure, and it's kind of interesting, expecting Forgotten to play a little more space control-y with this team, but showcasing a surprising amount of like aggression and generally want to like stay close to the opponent, which is not super bad to actually do with Yuzu, but I'm going to be starting some zoning here. Unfortunately, getting crossed up in that situation. Yeah, Fish Liquor going to be starting off with the momentum here. Okay, yeah, good block so far. Yeah, trying to just back off, playing very in and out the Yuzuriha way, but it doesn't have any meter to really get out of the situation, and getting punished too. Instant burst out, but it does miss, so Vatista will be getting punished.
Damage. The exchange once again, very well done. Fish Liquor has done like a lot of them very consistently. Oh, they are able to press there, catch the blade, and 5C is going to pretty much kill Vatista, leaving Yuzuriha level 2 resonance, 2 bars against pretty much full life Jangan Blake. It's going to be very tough, but not impossible.
Forgotten showing a lot of bravery here, mashing with the Yuzuriha. A character with relatively slow mash normals, so kind of risky to do it up close, and yeah, gonna not be paying off there. Try to go for the fancy combo, and okay, that was some hoery. But I understood what happened. She armored through the first hit, and just like didn't care about the Yuzuriha super. That's a that's a Yang moment.
Yeah, I'm not even playing it, I'm upset. What a way to finish the first set of the night. But yeah, congratulations, Fish Liquor taking it 3-1. Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely a very interesting game, and like I think only really one set to gauge a player, but for what I'm noticing, Forgotten, despite playing like 2 zoner characters with like relatively poor like close range games, a lot of bravery, a lot of like abare as we would call it in the and it was kind of paying off. The thing I noticed though is even though they were right a lot of the time with mashes, I felt they weren't confident enough to follow up in a lot of situations. But there were very much moments that I saw that they were just like ready for some like weird confirms or stuff that might be like awkward to hit off of. So there was a lot of bravery there. Maybe a couple opportunities that could have led into more threatening scenarios. But overall, it seems like they had a decent sense of like when people might have flinched or when people were kind of opening themselves up to get mashed out, and it's very interesting to see that from like kind of a zoning oriented player, because that's kind of the contrary to how most of them play. So very interesting, and I think with some refinement that definitely I definitely think they could have made some more strides there in that matchup. But yeah, when it came to like I think the Oki game in terms of what Fish had to deal with, it was a bit of a struggle, but understandable. They're probably very new to playing against Blake especially, but very very good job overall.
Of course. With that said, we're moving on the next match on stream. Still with round 1, we're going to see Jay and I think it's Nighttime's Killer. I think that's the full name they have. And it's of course Kanji Naoto on Jay's side, and of Night is Noel and Naoto Kurogane.
Very cool, very cool. And I think these are 2 players. The names are ringing in my head, but when I look at the teams, I don't really remember much. So this is basically a fresh team in my head. But Shirogane Kanji is one of the more popular Kanji teams. I know Puns plays it a lot. Puns plays like everything, but like if I had to associate a main team to them, then it'd be kind of this. So it's proven to be relatively effective. Naoto Noel though, that's a unique thing.
Okay, there. Straight in. Classic must be amazing. Great start of things. And they're able to capitalize, taking a nice amount of damage with this combo. I'm putting Naoto Shurigane right on the left corner of things.
Back in the air, yeah. Shurigane parry going to be getting punished here. Going to be putting her in that red health zone and going to be spending the cash in order to make sure that she dies in the next hit. Not too bad, 5C blocked, but going to be forcing out an immediate burst. Definitely very worth it to save that Shurigane, but Kanji not looking so hot.
Nice amount of damage after a burst punish. Oh, something there. Dropped it. 4P, forcing Kanji to block. That was very smart. They are able to spend mirror for super. I don't think it's 52%, but Kanji's going to be like one situation away from dying, and just like that, Kanji's out of the picture, and Naoto is Naoto. Still, Naoto Shurigane is good as a comeback character, but not a lot of combos you can do if you get hit, sadly. But with that, Knight takes the first game.
So pretty dominant showing there from Knight, and Kanji, I definitely think, is one of those characters that really doesn't like being rushed down. And, Noel, for all her weaknesses as a character, she actually has a pretty potent, close-range offensive game. She can be pretty tricky to go down, relatively active buttons. Mitigatable for sure, but I can see how Kanji might struggle here in that situation, but we're not going to be playing him right now. We're going to be swapping over the Shurigane, but that giant 4P always going to be catching, and we're back to the corner here for Knight.
Oh, they're not able to make the overhead. The burst was punished, but not quite confirmed there. Kanji is able to get out of the corner. Again, 4P is able to give his tracks. A nice DP, just trying to get things. But yeah, Jay is able to get out of the unadvantage situation, and it's very, very hard because Kanji doesn't have that much defensively. It's going to be rough.
Yeah, and Jay has been getting some nice hits here and there, but hasn't really been able to follow up into any full pressure situation and try to go for the anti-air DP. Kanji DP not reaching so far, and gonna be getting DPs over the situation that Noel actually not looking so good, but the giant 4P once again. Good utilization for her. There it is once more. The giant spoon.
Kept it for myself. And just like that, Knight takes the next game. Yeah, it's very, very saddening. It's because I think with Jade I have noticed they're able to get nice hits, but there's not an actual follow-up, and I cannot blame them because when it comes to Kanji, it's very, very off to confirm out of things. Sure, you can do 2C, and then you do 2CC, you can have a nice confirm and what'll, but you're not ready for that. And Kanji, when it's on pressure, he doesn't have a fast one that he can try and put out there. It's very, very hard.
Yeah, definitely. And okay, we're gonna be sniping out the 4P that time. Nice 5C in the situation. And this is Jay's first time in the corner, but a good jump out there. But the DP going to be getting punished here. Jay returning back to probably their least favorite part of the screen here. Oh no, Noel gonna be dropping the combo, respecting the 4P that time, but baits the burst. And this is just another game so far where Knight seems to take the momentum with it again. Gonna be getting that anti-air snipe.
Corner, spinning some mirror, putting a lot of damage to Kanji in the red zone. Oh, not looking that great. Wake up super, getting throw to avoid any kind of burst, as well as using super. And with that, once again, solo Naoto Shurigane, just level 1 resonance, even though it's a good character for comebacks. If she doesn't have any room for her to work with, it's going to be very, very hard to start the game.
Yeah, we're trying to optimize this here. The meter game might actually be to the second bar, and yeah, just barely going to be getting that nice optimal combo here in Knight, taking a very dominant 3-0 victory against Jay.
Noel, Naoto.
Yeah, that was great and dominant game. Knights really like show that they have done the homework. Naoto Kurogane like isn't a easy character, not at all. It's very tricky. It's not very beginner friendly. Still, if you're able to put the time, you're able to like figure out how to use him properly, like you get an amazing character. Nice damage, great combos, nice corner carry. And yeah, it's very interesting. This is the second time in TMN that I have seen a Noel and Naoto Kurogane. It's a very like a specific, very odd pick, but over here in BB Tech, you can like expect the unexpected.
Yeah, and Kurogane isn't one of those characters that I think it gets associated with being kind of like. Well, it's hard to say because everyone knows how good the 4P is, but like. I feel like most people wouldn't necessarily consider Kurogane to be a support character, but he very much can be. He has a full set of strong assist kits that that 4P. You can complain all about it, how stupid that is, but 6P is a really good sandwich assist, and it actually has a lot of good air coverage too. It covers a pretty big portion of the screen, and I think has some tracking. And 5P is just a nice, fast, standard strike assist. So. Kurogane being a pair for Noel might seem like an odd pick, but I can see how it works as a team, because I think the one area Noel really struggles with is air buttons. Her air buttons aren't necessarily terrible, but a lot of what she does can be mitigated by kind of just jumping. She doesn't really have a lot of options to kind of pin you down when you're in the air because she has to commit to a drive. A lot of her pressure can be mitigated if you're in the air, and if you do an air push block against her, she has to do a lot to get back in. Kurogane can solve a lot of those problems by just like slapping in a 4P. It locks you down and makes sure that you can't contest her in the air. So I definitely see the theory about the team, and Knight definitely showcasing a lot of the value of just using 4P against Noel, because Jay was, getting some hits here or there, but they had that stop sign constantly put on them that really halted a lot of their momentum.
Yeah, I agree because when it comes to what happened in a lot of matches that we saw, that's it, is that Jay was trying to, when you face against Noel, you jump, but the moment like Kanji tried to approach in some way, the 4P just stopped, and after that, like Kanji hasn't like that much tools to work with. So at the end, they went back to the status quo, and they were forced to like go back to the defensive, and usually will put Jay back in the corner. So that was very tough because yeah, Kanji, even though he has like sometimes great damage when it comes to like a nice starter, when it comes to trying and mash opponents something that is fast, you cannot do that much. When you're put in a defensive position, you need to like wait. You cannot mash yourself out of the situation. And the fact that when you think it's your turn, you get stopped by a by a massive stop sign, it wasn't like that great. Still, it was a nice effort. It really showed that they have done a lot of work with their team, because Naoto Kurogane and Kanji, even though they're like quite common, a common pick, it's still a very hard team to master.
Yeah, for sure. And like, it's a team that really thrives on having space, either for giving leverage for Kanji to go in or for Kurogane to kind of set up. It is a team that I think really struggles with constant rushdown, and if you're a little unfamiliar, I think with the defensive options that I have available, and like quite frankly unreliable defensive options a lot of the time, it can be rough. And I think there was also just a lot of potential scramble situations that I think were in Knight's favor just because of kind of the assist difference at play. Because there was a game, Noel was looking pretty bad, but Jay was never able to really capitalize on a lot of the hits that they had, either because they got bursted out or someone was there to bail out the point character. And that's always something that you gotta be aware of when it comes to tag, despite how fast-paced it is. It's like you can very much lose a war of attrition faster than what the game state might imply. So it's difficult.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. That said, now we go to winners quarterfinals. We are going to see Elite Bar and Lavender. Interesting. I have heard of Lavender before. As I mentioned before, I'm not very familiarized with with the PC scene, so many names like they ring a bell, but I don't like know them that much. But if I remember correctly, Lavender, she's up to graduation. So if they're able to win the tournament, that means they graduate from TMN and they're up for the big leagues. So that's going to be very interesting to see. But yeah, I see that the Elite Bar is going for Gordeau and Makoto. That's something I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, very interesting comp there. Makoto, I would describe as being a very unfortunate character. A character that's notoriously been janky, not great neutral, and like when she's supposed to work, sometimes she doesn't. But she has a lot of good potential offensive game, a lot of tricky like high-low stuff or like side swap stuff. And Gordeau has been a character, I think, as of relatively recently, I have grown to respect a little more, thanks to mostly Monkey Smile, probably the premier Gordeau player in A to NA. Despite Gord's faults on point, being another character that I would describe as being very unfortunate, he has a lot of good support value. He has he has moves that have long AS windows, good coverage, and pretty long lockdown. His damage output is pretty good too, and even though his long buttons are a little janky to say the least in terms of how the hitbox looks, they still can put pressure from afar, which is useful for some matchup, and especially in cross combo situations where maybe you get push blocked away or you need to like close the gap to make use of a like sandwich assist. There's a lot of nuanced stuff that Gord players over the course of 2.0 have really found to make the character shine, and even though he has his faults as a point character, he can very much shine as a backline unit, and I'm hoping we get to see some of that here with Elite Bar.
Course. Yeah, I'm really hype about that. Also, now return back to Lavender. If I remember correctly, they play, I think, Ruby and Rachel. I think that's like the team comp they usually like use for this. And of course, Team Bros, an amazing team. Great things. Ruby like excels at being in the air, trying to outspace the enemy, and then you put Rachel as some sort of backup. It gives like Ruby like so much freedom to work with in neutral. But when it comes to 6P and of course 4P, like Ruby is always going to have like the old neutral covered. She can approach in whatever side she can, and of course when it comes to Rachel now has 4P of Ruby. She has nice support as well. So it's like an overall like an amazing team, very solid. One of the best Ruby teams in my opinion. A bit like difficult to get a hang of it, but still a nice solid pick.
Yeah, in terms of Rachel teams, I would say Ruby Rachel is the most balanced and probably I want to say one of the best Rachel teams out there. It's not nearly as impressive as Rachel Vatista, not in the slightest. But what it makes up for high lockdown, it has the consistency of Ruby, which you're never going to complain with. And because of how messed up Rachel is already, even just by herself and kind of the mix-up game, you can mitigate the lack of a traditional lockdown assist with just Rachel kind of just mixing you already. It's like, oh no, instead of 12 overheads, you get like 10 overheads, right? Like, it's a team that has, doesn't really have highs and lows. It's a very consistent, like, I don't know what the word really phrases, but like, it's a very consistent team that really emphasizes both characters even though it isn't necessarily like magic for either of them. It's just such a good, solid team that it ends up being so strong and so able to like put you under stress that like it performs really well.
Of course, and with that, I see that Lavender luckily has joined the room, and now we can officially start the first match of the sets. I'm very excited to see you what is going to the table. Makoto Gordeau. I'm very curious how they're able to like combine a pretty well. I will say lackluster characters, but I will say very hard to master characters with not that much tools against a very oppressive potential oppressiveness that Ruby and Rachel is going to be able to bring to the table.
Let's not get it twisted. The difference in tiers is kind of insane in this matchup. But yeah, I have seen miracles happen before. That you know what the adjective I used, unfortunate. That applies there. Well, I've never seen that before in my life, but hey, you know what? That DP worked. Thank God for the Gordeau there. But gonna be getting smacked by the 4P. Lavi gonna be dropping the combo and could not quite contest the Ruby, baiting out the burst too. This is quickly going downhill.
So, they decided to go for the B version of Rosa, so they were like going all the way to the corner. Throw. They're able to once again punish the burst, and that's going to be a dead Gordeau there with the... wow, okay, they decided to go for some weird extension instead of going to cross rate, and that's going to be great for Lidbar.
Yeah. Unfortunately, risk taking the Gordeau into that one-touch situation, and it did not pay off, and that's looking like a dead Makoto in turn.
That was very important. I still can't believe Gordeau is one of the few characters that they're able to hit DP from behind, and they were in a disadvantage after the hit, and they got fully comboed afterwards. That's very unfortunate. That's a great example of why Gordeau is kind of lackluster, because even though like he has nice things, right? He has range, he can put you in out of situation corner, perhaps has solid assists. But that really doesn't change the fact that his moves are very slow. He has janky hitboxes and hardboxes that can like turn into horrible stuff. So let's see if Lidbar is able to adapt regardless of those bad things.
Yeah, oh, okay. And Lavi being pretty consistently just putting the pressure on Elite Bear. Gonna be baiting out that burst as well. In the corner position, unfortunately missing the corner Oki, but not actually going to be getting much out of it. Lavi going to be firing back here, returning back to the advantageous position. Low Gordeau they gotta worry about, but still choosing to keep him in, and no hard burst beat that time, but that Gordeau is definitely on death's door right now.
Nice. Corner trying to go for super savior, but they're able to punish the DP. He's not going to be the amount of combo whatsoever, but still he's going to do a nice amount of damage. I'm kind of confused why they decided to go for the last hit of the smart combo, because he puts it out of the corner, but regardless they're able to try to get back as soon as possible, but Lidbar now has some room to breathe.
Ooh, yeah. Lidbar was having some good progress there, but tried to go for a pretty greedy reset with the 5C. Probably would have killed Rachel, but Lavi was absolutely ready with it with a wake-up super. Now they got to deal with this frog in the back, still going to be pressing up, but not going to be actually getting anywhere, and the resonance will be running out. This is doable, I think, for Lidbar, especially with that push block. Not going to be baiting out the burst. That George DPG didn't even kill George, but thankfully not going to get punished from all that. This is going everywhere.
Okay, they're able to punish. That's an amazing start for that. Still, Lavender has a level 4 resonance, a nice 5 minutes of strength. They activate resonance in the air, doesn't matter, they defeat. And with that, Lavender takes the second game. I noticed that, you know, Elite Bar has done a lot of TPs, which, of course, sometimes they have payoff. The majority, like, they have, like, put themselves in a very bad situation. Like, for example, in that situation with Resonance or against George or during neutral. Gordeau's DP isn't the best and it's not the most consistent. So the thing, well, I can see why it can be kind of scary because Gordeau doesn't have like that much to mash when they are like up close and personal, so DP is the fastest option they can do. Maybe perhaps push block or something. But yeah, I can see why they go for reversals. But it's better to just stand up.
Yeah, one of those classic Ruby button starts though with the reverse hitbox here. Just more DPs, and yeah, you know another thing about a DP too. Talking about how inconsistent it is, it doesn't have info all the way through either.
Regardless, no, Gordeau gets cut off before them their ulti burst. And they got the counter hit, that's great for this bar. Get a nice chunk of damage. With Lavender in a very tough situation right in the corner.
Gonna be waking up with that super here. Could have been a worse situation for that Gordeau, but trying to mash that button right in Rachel's face. Unfortunate decision there. Gonna be left here with the solo Makoto, but getting a happy birthday. I actually think, do they know the routing? Oh no. I was gonna say they can double super for a potential kill there, but not going to be letting that Rachel die quite a bit, but still gonna be keeping her in. This is super risky.
Rest is still on the table. Rachel is one touch away from dying. Still, Lavender is not letting like any space. Just going straight up, guns blazing. 5P getting called up. Just trying to gain as much as possible. Activate Resonance, trying to heal Makoto a bit. Oh, that could be two punishes, but they were a bit too far away for that.
Yeah. And... Ooh, okay, but not gonna be a punish either. Pushing, locking the Rachel away. I'm still surprised about how long this Rachel is being kept in. Baits out the DP, but no punish. Gets the 4P available. Rachel doesn't have enough damage to kill that scenario. Oh no, a 2B coming out. Elite are fighting for their life here, only to be toyed at the end as they swap over to the Ruby finally. And that is going to be a 3-0 victory for Lavi.
That was amazing. Very, very great performance by both players. And of course, Lavender, once again, reminder, she's up for graduation. She's able to take the game trio, amazing stuff. I love the way Lavender play when it comes to like a recognition of the way their opponent play. Like they know exactly when they're going to burst, they were able to punish it correctly. They knew they were going to DP, they were able to punish it correctly. Like that kind of awareness is great. For a game like fast-paced like this, so they were like had the idea of it. The only thing that I noticed that Lavender sometimes like struggle with is when they got a hit, they didn't know exactly what to do after it. Because I noticed many times, for example, the corner didn't go for something like a safe jump, but they decided to go for like at the end of the 5A arrow combo and put themselves out in the corner or dropping at the end. But besides that, I think it was nice awareness of not only how the game works, but also to understand how their opponent like try to play. So I think it was nice recognition.
Yeah, you know, Lavi definitely a lot of experience on the Rachel and very risky play overall, still paying off. And I think this is probably going to be a common theme with the night. And of course, I got to reiterate, you know, it makes sense for people who are a bit newer when it comes to the characters. Like Elite Bar had a lot of good opportunities, but I think there was a couple unfortunate combo drops here or there, or maybe not knowing how to really follow up on certain knockdown situations that really let Lavi kind of take control of the chaos of the game and kind of literally run away with Rachel. So, you know, it's one of those things that I think gets developed over time, and like you said, it was definitely good on Lavi to recognize those situations and capitalize on it. But definitely saw a lot of good gameplay there from Elite Bar. But we are going to be moving on to our next match, which is BXR versus BrazenWhiteRose.
Interesting. I have seen many times both BXR and BrazenWhiteRose. BXR, of course, they play Ruby and Susano'o, and they also play sometimes Yuzuriha. And of course, BrazenWhiteRose goes for a great team, Yumi and Ruby, back to back. And Ruby Mirror too, so it's great. very.
We're going to be starting with a 5-8. DP out of the situation here. Sets up the sandwich scenario, but pushes block before it can really get pretty nasty. 5B confirmed here with the Yumi. This is going to be a nice chunk of damage, and maybe going to be swapping over into the Ruby. No, not quite here, but gets in with the low, and that should be a kill. Okay, no, not going to be going for the super, allowing out the burst bait, but gets into that sandwich scenario.
Oh, they got the DP bait, but not being able to stabilize. Oh, but it doesn't matter. They're able to keep moving it up, and now Sun is getting all the damage. Super, leaving Susano'o with resonance, 5 bars, and just like that. That's such a very fast-paced game. Wow.
Yes, a good display of kind of the volatility that Yumi has, and I didn't really talk about the teams too much, but yeah, Yumi, Ruby, and Ruby Susano'o. Probably two of the strongest Ruby teams out there possible, and for kind of similar reasons, honestly. You know, good kind of assist potential for Ruby, maybe in different ways, but strong damage on the non-Ruby side too. These are teams that I think kind of fulfill different niches within kind of Ruby's teams. And it's kind of interesting to actually see them clash against each other. And obviously, you know, BXR didn't really get to see too much of what they could potentially do with the Susano'o, but I'm sure it can be equally as dangerous as we saw in the last game, given the right time and space.
BXR is going to have oh, that's going to be a 45, baby. Into the happy burger. Being able to confirm both. We're still in there. All the damage to the world. I guess. Super. And that's going to be a drop, actually. Oh, but not being able to confirm at the 4 big hits. I thought they were able to force 14. That could have been way worse.
Okay, nice jump out of the throw here, but the 5A anti-air, the good old classic. Gonna be trying to go for the air rave, 2 scale of a combo in order to really kill. Jumping out of the situation. BXR going for a risky active swap and losing the Susano'o for it. This is not looking good for BXR.
Oh, they are Naoto trying to get some damage in. They have a level 2 response 5 bars. It's going to be very challenging. Right now, all the reasons to work, not being able to confirm out of that. Oh, trying to go for something. He got blast speed behind. Assist is able to hit from behind as well, and just like that. Super.
BrazenWhiteRose going to be taking the second game of the set. Not as dominantly as the last game, but very much a good showing here. And I think really the difference maker between BXR and BrazenWhiteRose here is just the bravery. BrazenWhiteRose is not afraid to really throw out that Yumi 5A, and it feels like BXR doesn't really have a good answer for it. And yeah, I'm gonna be swapping over to Yuzu to maybe control the space a little bit more. But yeah, that's one of the more, you know, annoying things about Yumi. Like, she has really good buttons and pretty safe buttons overall to throw out. So in terms of like kind of those scramble situations, she is often favored. So usually it's your job fighting against the Yumi to kind of at least like make her think about it a little bit. Not necessarily like stop her from mashing, but you want to play at a range where you can kind of space out her moves, or, you know, not be too close to her and try to like slowly gain an advantage on her. Otherwise, you just kind of like throw out her like really messed up buttons without fear. And I think the Yuzu can be a good character to do that with her slashes, but if BrazenWhiteRose is just like continues to be aggressive, then like it might be a little difficult. But starting out strong.
Like the corner, just straight up, no fear at all. JA out of blue, nice B, acknowledging that there was like a gamma over there, trying to go for a JC. I think that's going to be punished by 5A, of course. Oh, but they do. The combo, and now Yumi has afterburning to do all the damage they can do, and now BXR is in a very tough position once again.
Oh yeah, and got hit by that 4P meaty as well. It's looking so good at the starter for BXR, but just one Yumi 5A is all they really needed going into a throw. And I think with a cross-raid route, this might kill. Yes. I didn't say no yet. I was about to say no, but I didn't.
We saved it. Good. But yeah, nice. That was very, very wild performance on BrazenWhiteRose. I think BXR had like a nice idea. They know like what to do, but the thing is that BrazenWhiteRose played in a very like, how should I put this, brave way. And characters like Yumi, you are like, sometimes happens that you think that, oh, I need to be very, very careful. One touch away, I'm not going to die. So you like instinctively play more defensive. So instead of like trying to like use your good buttons or trying to play the game plan as you usually would do, you decide to maybe like take a bit of the backstep, just trying to play with more defensive. But at the end, Yumi is that kind of character that, regardless of the situation, it has like a threat, because he like 5A can be bad, 5E can be bad, and the fact that, you know, usually it's not like a 6K combo, 7K combo, it can become into a happy birthday, it can go to 10K, so there are a lot of things that can happen. Yumi is those kind of characters. So I like noticed that BXR like had like a crazy idea. For example, the last match of the set, it came out like great at the beginning. They're able to put BrazenWhiteRose back in the corner, they're able to make some like some advantage overall, but at the end, like, decided to back up a bit, and they were able to like leave BrazenWhiteRose like go nuts once again, and they match AA once again, 5A, and then a happy birthday. So I noticed that happened overall, but regardless, I think that's something that it can be well like work with. But against characters like Yumi, I really understand it because I have been in that kind of situation.
Yeah, and I think there's no better character in this game to remind you that you need to keep things tight in a game like BB Tag more than Yumi, because that 5A is coming out. You know, if you're at range and you're not doing something safe, that 5B is coming out, and she's a really good character at making sure that you're keeping things as airtight as possible, because if the like one match should lead to such disastrous situations, and like, it's, you know, part of the reason why I think she can be really popular and also really difficult, I think, for newer players to really have to deal with, just because a lot of those, you know, a lot of those like tightness in like pressure strings or like CC sequence aren't necessarily there because they're still training that up. So, you know, unfortunate there for BXR, but definitely some stuff to learn and adapt to in the future.
Oh, we move on to the next match, just like that, and right now we're going to see once again Lavender, and once again the Noel Izayoi. So let's see how I think it's a bit turned, and I see Lavender just straight up hitting JA and hitting from behind. Love to see it.
Alright, smacked away the Rachel, but didn't quite get much out of it. Gonna be ignoring the George 2. Brave DP out of the situation, and a good confirm there with the super. Going to be avoiding that 6P entirely and bursting the burst in order to get that Noel out too. So yeah, it's gonna be a little lacking on resources on Lavi's side, so pressure strings might be a little harder, but Noel might die, not quite.
Always be mindful of when and where and of course prices to can. Oh, Noel is out of the picture now. It's just solid story. In the hit, they have 4 bars on deck. I think with that combo they could have confirmed, but sadly I jinxed it. So once again we return back to the point, and let's see if he's able to get a hit.
Nice teleport, going to be going on the other side there. Galen off the Ruby and leaving the solo level 4 Residence Rachel. Maybe you're in a worse situation than you were before, because yeah, gonna have a lot of meter to play around with. Actually opting to play a little more aggressively than one might expect, and hits the overhead too. I think there's 4 bars on deck. Izayoi can do a lot of damage, but I don't think Fishlicker is going to be going for a kill here. But wasting all that resonance, that's pretty huge, because that might be at least like 1 or 2 more hits that Rachel might need, and no chip available either.
With George, 2 of them were in display. Amazing. Once again, another counter hit. Very careful, super. They're able to confirm, and just like that, Lavender is able to take the first game. But it was quite close, considering everything. Like, Noel died pretty much soon. It was like Izayoi trying to get back to it. They were able to show that Izayoi has very much potential, regardless of her losing opponent. The fact that she can like teleport, she has an instant overhead. You cannot count of like any character in this game, because they can like potentially do like a comeback. But you know, Izayoi this time around was the greatest example of that.
Yeah. Yeah, like one thing I'm noticing about how Lavi plays, they seem pretty conservative when it comes to character swapping. What I was noticing with that last sequence is that they were actively trying to go for an AS in order to get Rachel in, almost to the point of risking Ruby's life, and that's how they got down. And I think that's definitely something that Fishlicker can really punish going forward, especially with a character like Yang that can kind of just armor through a lot of your AS options. So I think Lavi going forward might need to be a little more careful about how they get in characters.
You could say to go to the main screen, to the lane. Let's see if this time around they perform. Right now, it's 9 with a 5. Putting themselves out of the corner. No, but still, the tech chases that the Sticker is able to like has done once right now, pretty
Alright, good spacing there, but not going to be punishing the burst, letting the Ruby in. He doesn't have like too many resources to have to deal with. Lavi trying to lock down this Blake here, and a good conversion, unless it doesn't fully convert. This is, yeah, a lot of 5B hits here there, but no full confirms, but that is a happy birthday until it's not a happy birthday, and then it's another drop. So much is going on.
Regardless, Lavender is able to hit Yang once again with a 5B, start putting Yang in the corner. Someone's activated, be careful, they go for a throw, and they got hit. Both of them. That's something that Yang can do. Something that sucks. Something that is very unfortunate. But still something that can happen. Just like that. You know, even though it might happen that, you know, it has a bit of advantage when it comes to Lavender, Yang just, you know, grab the chessboard and throw it outside the window. And just like that, we're 1-1.
Yeah. I think something to note there too, in a situation like that, if you are worried about getting happy birthday, especially after like getting seeing a super multi-target super flash, you can pop CC in order to make the other character invulnerable. It would have been a play to save both characters there in that scenario. So once again, I think some more utilization of the CC system, I think, could be, what am I trying to say here? Like, using the CC system there would have been a life-saving thing, and with Fishlicker's characters, I definitely think that a solo Rachel comeback definitely was possible. But, you know, something for the next game for sure.
Right now, never mind. Right now, sorry, Blake. There's a lot of going on. They're switching, they're just hitting, just trying to get there. Like 5 counter hits in a row, not being able to punish the DP. That's very, very unfortunate. Regardless, just trying to move on for B connect, putting Yang once again in the corner. They're having a great
and that 6 feet is going to be locking them down. Sets up the George here, but Fishlicker doing really good at jumping out of the situation. Baits out the 2B, but no punish right now in order to get it. Rachel going to the other side of the screen. George coming out. Like the respect that Fishlicker is showing to the George, going to defeat him by hitting the Rachel and keeping her locked down and finally getting her to the corner.
putting Yang in a very tough situation. Oh, the frog is opportunity to be very careful. At the end, they get hit by it, putting Blake in the corner. Well, they tried to punish, but they weren't able to confirm it per se. Finally being able to hit, and with that, it's out of the picture. Being solo Blake.
Yeah, and a character that could be pretty annoying to have to deal with all her air options, but Ruby probably going to be doing a good job to lock her down. Swap over into the Rachel. Good push block out of the situation. And not dead yet. I was about to say they were dead, but I almost cursed them.
Oh, that was nice. Throw. But it doesn't matter at the end. Lavender is able to beat 5A and taking the third game, putting 2-1 on the score.
Yes, and I definitely think there has been some things that I think that both players have been really able to take advantage of. One of the things that I'm noticing is Fishlicker is relatively good about using push block into Blake button in order to punish any over committal moves that Lavi is throwing out, especially with the Ruby. So I think going forward, Lavi could potentially be a little more aware and a little less committal on the offense, because I think Fishlicker, even though the push blocks have been on point, they have been wasting a lot of resources, and I definitely think that could be an opportunity for Lavi to potentially follow up. And right there, that push block out of the situation and realizing, Fishlicker is without resources. Yeah, this is when they want to ramp up the pressure.
Get back into it. DP although it's fine. Trying to punish, but they're able to burst punish. Nice amount of damage. Putting Yang trying to squeeze a lot of hits. But suddenly they're able to get the plus. Nice throw. Just putting as well. Very good after the goal assist. So right now it's high burn. Once again,
okay. There was like 2 clashes there in that situation. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, that Yang's looking kind of low. Getting hit by the 5P, but no, not quite going to be a punish yet. You gotta get her out, yeah. Gonna be swapping over into that Blake, but you cannot call that Yang anymore without getting just chipped by 1 assist to kill her off here. Lavi going to be maintaining that corner position, but backing off. Can they get the confirm off that? But yes, but they're not going to get the full confirm. JC in this situation, but no kill.
What are you doing? RDP trying to catch Rachel off the air, not working. Leaving Blake to work completely alone. Be careful with the 2 Georges, 3 Georges. A lot of going on. Oh, now they're able to get the hit. They have enough bars to confirm and get the kill.
Oh no!
Unless they don't, they decide to go for a jump there. But what is the first? That's nice, but I think it was worth it to go to kill Rachel rather than to be the worst.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree there too, because now you got an entire character in the back, and like, sure, dealing with Solar Ruby is annoying, but like, I don't think you want to deal with Solar Rachel anymore too. And they're getting access to some of those CC sequences, but thankfully, Fishlicker able to mitigate that scenario, taking a lot of chip damage, getting the overhead 2 into the low, and Lavi managing to take it back into control there, winning the 3rd game 3-1.
Wow, that was very chaotic. Not only that we like expectate 2 clashes in a row in that super, but also the very back and forth last interaction of the game. That was very pleasant to watch. So yeah, good stuff for Lavender. Moving on the bracket, and of course, Sticker. That was a nice effort.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I really appreciate kind of just the general offensive game plan that Fishlicker was trying to apply. Keeping Rachel on her toes by just like either push blocking overcommittal buttons and at the very least putting pressure on their point character. If not, just getting it confirmed has been really really solid, but also just utilizing Blake's long buttons in order to prevent like any setup things from happening. And when setup situations were happening with like George's being put up, I noticed that they were being very aggressive. It's just a little unfortunate. Some decision makings did not pan out, I think, in the ways that they wanted to, but still a pretty close set overall, despite it only being a 3-1, and good stuff to Lavi going to be moving on to the winner final side of this bracket.
I couldn't agree more. That said, we're still here on winner semifinals, and we're going to see once again BrazenWhiteRose against Mr. Pengu. Interesting, that's a name I haven't heard, but this is a very popular team, Yang and Ruby. And we're going to see once again a Ruby Mirror. We have seen a lot of them in this bracket. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The Team Sisters Comp, it's as I said before, a very popular team, and that also means that it's very good. It's very consistent, and she like everything that Yang receives from having Ruby as a support. It's great, especially the pressure in the corner, and also Ruby having Yang supports like gives her a lot to work with when it comes to her gameplay. So it's very solid. So let's hope and see if Mr. Pengu is able to like demonstrate what this team can do.
Yeah, we saw the relatively bold performance from BrazenWhiteRose from the previous game, but now with the introduction of a Yang armor, got to be a little bit careful on mashing those buttons just in general. But Yumi definitely has a lot of tools to kind of just deal with Yang armor or otherwise. So it's we'll see if BrazenWhiteRose still maintains some of that aggressive, very disrespectful style of play where they kind of just like don't really care about your pressure and just constantly trying to check you if you're keeping your stuff airtight.
Indeed. I'm very curious on how this match will go. Usually Yumi and Yang, they excel, especially BrazenWhiteRose, Yumi excel at being very explosive. So I'm curious of how they would react against Yang, a character that when she's up close and personal, it's very hard to get around. And right now, Mr. Pengu is able to put a lot of pressure, going for a command grab, putting Yumi on the red, almost putting the burst, but that was a nice attempt. Mr. Pengu really is very knowledgeable of what to do. Very good.
Going in with the overhead, no beater to push block, no burst available either. This is looking quite good and going to be confirming into that anti-air command grab. Mr. Pengu looking great here, killing off that Ruby relatively quickly.
Ruby's right here, trying to match the flow out of the situation. That was there. Brave. Oh, there you go, straight for a throw. It's going to be okay damage, trying to keep some bar going on. Just trying to get all the bits of what Person can bring on the table. Damage is activated. Very careful, very mindful what they do. 5A is able to connect, putting Yang out of the picture, leaving solo.
Yes. It's like pretty much a full health character to have to deal with, but starting off with a 5A. Once again, those disrespectful 5As coming in clutch here, trying to bait out a DP or whatever. Will they be able to get that air confirm? Yeah, this is going to be really difficult to get the kill off of, but managing to get the throw on the Oki. Mr. Pengu picking up the pieces and winning the first game.
That was an amazing performance from Mr. Pengu right here. The thing with Yang, she's very overwhelming, especially in the corner. Being able to like show how great she is at that kind of situation. BrazenWhiteRose being like put like in a very affordable situation, because we have seen before that they like to pretty much be like play very aggressively, and being forced to be in the back corner this time around was kind of weird. Still, something I noticed that Mr. Pengu like had to learn the hard way is that you cannot count out someone even though they have just one character left, especially a character like Yumi, because she's very explosive with that hit. It was very close, but still, it really shows that Mr. Pengu has done their homework, their research, and they have performed amazingly. I can't wait to see more.
right there, but we're going to be swapping over into a Noel pick. You know, definitely team-wise, maybe not as consistent here compared to what they had before, but hey, you know, the Yumi is still a constant, and it's looking like a strong pick. Oh, dropping the happy birthday combo, though, and bringing in the Noel into a sandwich situation, but double-sided dating. DP going to be working out a good push block to avoid that JC2. Mr. Pengu's, dang, actually looking to kind of watch that situation, but showing a little bit of disrespect herself with that 5A hit, going to the super. That might be a dead Yumi? Yes.
Sorry, check. Great advantage for great here. Susano'o with nothing that much to do with. Sadly, they don't have that. Just trying to get the 1 second throw, activating resonance. 4P catching Noel, but they have confirm afterwards. Just kind of hardest, and I think they have enough here to reject out of it. Once again, Solo Ruby.
Yeah, level 4 resonance to have to deal with, and BrazenWhiteRose, you know, swapping pretty confidently over into the Noel, so probably showcasing some proficiency here in terms of what they can do, and a nice reaction to the DP, able to close the distance but not able to get the kill confirmed, as yeah, Ruby going to be dropping that gun blast. So this is going all over the place, jumping out of that Noel character. I think you're too far for that. Yeah, just going in for the grab. Once again, this is not good for my heart.
Don't worry, my heart is also in the version of stopping. Regardless, once again, in a very, very close fashion, Mr. Pengu takes the game. I'm very much surprised how BrazenWhiteRose decided to, you know, pick Noel instead of Ruby. Like, objectively, it's a better team, but still, that doesn't mean, yeah, we go back to Yumi Ruby. It was a nice experience. I think with Noel, I still feel like BrazenWhiteRose was like more comfortable with. Maybe they are more used to playing with Noel. Maybe they had like more stuff to do. But at the end, they decided to go back to Yumi and Ruby. It's a great team, so it makes sense way to go back to it. Still, regardless of Mr. Pengu right now taking like great advantage, that doesn't mean that BrazenWhiteRose is out of it. I think BrazenWhiteRose has shown that the potential of a comeback is true, and I believe if they're able to play the cards correctly, I think they will feel potential.
Definitely gonna be pushed back in a situation. Not gonna get that air-to-air confirmed, but still chasing him down. Good to be. Burst will be getting avoided here. BrazenWhiteRose Ruby going to be putting into a pretty uncomfortable situation. Nice sandwich there, and has enough meter to go into a cross combo, which I think is necessary for the kill. Just keep it simple. No, not going to be dropping the combo, but that Ruby still is quite the hurting and swapping her out just to keep her safe. But the Shark going to be paying off a risky burst out, and you got to be careful about her. Okay, yeah, did not quite get the kill on her, and managing to get some bonus points here on this Yang.
Oh no, that was a bit too much for the scaling, forcing the drop, and with that, Mr. Pengu takes a lot of advantage. Nice burst, being able to capitalize out of it. Both characters are one touch away from dying. Sadly, Ruby is out. I mean, solo Yumi deals with it. Nice in both sides.
Oh.
Activating super. That's it.
Oh, that was unfortunate. The chip damage they did from popping resonance just chipped her enough in order to pop Semblance. Yeah. Either way, it was really looking rough there for BrazenWhiteRose, and that was yeah, an unfortunate call to make at the end. 3-0 victory for Mr. Pengu, showing that they are, at least for this set, the superior Ruby player.
Yeah, in this case, I think BrazenWhiteRose, the last set that we saw, like, they will usually like put a lot of pressure. They were able to mash a lot on the 5A. They like their opponent usually like give them like enough respect to allow them to press like a lot of 5As, a lot of JAs, a lot of 5Bs. It's around Mr. Pengu, like had like a mindset of like going guns blazing and be as, you know, overwhelming as possible when it comes to the pressure. And I think that really paid off because he didn't even leave like any room for BrazenWhiteRose to breathe, to like trying to get like a cheeky little 5A. There wasn't enough spacing for the 5E. there were like times that they were able to get some hits, but at the end, like there wasn't like that much damage, and they were able to not take like that much advantage. That's something I noticed, and Mr. Pengu like took advantage of it. Besides, regardless, they were very close. Even though they lose like a very early on, BrazenWhiteRose was able to almost make comeback twice. So yeah, it was a nice attempt.
Yeah, for sure. And like what I was talking about earlier in terms of how they were approaching the previous set that we saw them in with BXR, it was like very disrespectful, very like you know, a lot of Obare basically, just trying to constantly checking with the Yumi 5A. And there were a lot of moments where those were working out in this set. I just think that Mr. Pengu had a lot more relative tightness when it came to their pressure sequences, and they had a general sense of when BrazenWhiteRose wanted to like either match or wanted to like DP or some type of their usual like offensive defensive option available, and that's ultimately I think what let them kind of shine there in that matchup. So you know, it's up to Mr. Pengu, but it's definitely not over yet for BrazenWhiteRose.
Indeed, I agree. With that said, we are going to take a break from winners and to the winner side of things, and we are going to go to losers. We are going to see BXR once again against Knight. Two players we have seen before. BXR, of course, with the Ruby Susano'o comp, and Knight with Naoto and Noel.
Let's see, yes, and then this is let's see, you know, the last time we saw Knight play, it was very much the Kurogane 4P show, very much a central focal point of the matchup as it tends to be with the Kurogane. And Ruby is a character that likes to be in the skies. Ooh, actually, you know what? The Yuzu too likes to be in the skies too. Very interesting swap. I know judging maybe by comfortability with the characters, like BXR might be more comfortable with the Yuzu, but in terms of matchups, I actually think that 4P might dictate too much of the pace of the situation when Yuzuriha is on screen, if not properly handled. Yuzu definitely doesn't necessarily die to it, but I can definitely see some like maybe like less liberal use of the teleports, which can often be a thing that Yuzuriha players want to do, be kind of stifled by the 4P. So we'll see how the matchup plays out.
They're strong with the 4P just like that, but it doesn't matter. BXR get the hit, trying not the most amount of damage, but still putting very nice 4P weeping, interesting trade. Just trying to go along the places once again with the 4P, or being able to let BXR wait for a second, bursting once again, and that's cool.
Ooh, you know what? Kurogane got a 4P, but Ruby's got a really good 4P of her own here, and Kurogane is on point. A nice fight, Pico actually managing to punish the teleport from Yuzuriha, getting that into that corner positioning and getting the cross up too. Can they confirm into a kill? No, but this is going to be a nice chunk of damage here on this Ruby.
Trying to get a more damage circle, bursting, not being able to punish, regardless they're able to get some few hits, and they're able to burn 5A into almost with Noel. They decide to go for something that takes more time, so they will force it a bit. Regardless, Noel is out of the picture, solo Naoto. It's something you can't be close with, yeah? But they need to be very careful. Nice. Ruby's out of the picture. Now it's just 1v1 against Yuzuriha. They just need to play very careful and try to do it.
Oh. Are we gonna see an actual? Oh no! No! I don't know how to actually root into the Yuzuriha Astral, but like I am sure there was an attempt there. Kurogane slowly getting closer. Depending on the rooting and starter, this could be a one-touch situation for BXR, punishing the landing, but actually not getting the kill with the super into the super. We're going away, and they're not dead.
very careful with the jump TP. It's a thing that can happen. That was what I wanted to say. And just like that, Nike takes the first game. Wow, that was very well. There were a lot of supers trying to answer up supers. And just like that, yeah. The thing that you said at the beginning of the match was pretty much true. The 4Ps were kind of like a bit of comfortable when it comes to what BXR was trying to do. Ruby likes to be there, also Yuzuriha, and the fact that 4P like takes like 1/4 of the screen, not letting like anything happen, like really took a toll of BXR's game plan overall. Still, they're able to adapt very, very well of the 4P. But besides, it was very, very difficult overall.
Yeah, and like a real nail biter of a set at the end, definitely dictating kind of the probably close dynamic that these two have. But yeah, we'll see how it goes here in game 2. Okay, yeah, Knight going to be setting up almost a sandwich situation. Yeah, BXR not wanting to have any of that. The 4P coming out once again, baiting the burst, but not able to get a punish on it. A nice throw going to be allowing Knight to get the momentum first.
Pressure. I think they were too focused on the 6P than they did on the smart. 4P being able to punish the burst, getting all the damage in the world. They're right now looking great for Knight.
I think they're going to be going out a nice cross up there, but not able to bait out the burst in that situation. Trying to bait out maybe a super DP of their own. This is very risky, and finding the right place to burst out and getting the confirm to BXR. Going to be getting DP for their troubles.
One situation away from dying. Very mindful of what they do. Okay, being able to confirm after the JB because of the nice awareness of the situation. That was very good. Regardless, JC trying to push at the end, really got hit by the DHC observer, forcing BXR to switch.
Getting some more cross-ups too. Not a good 4P block. The Noel is going in a little too hot. Not going to be getting anything lethal just yet. To a confirm into the throw. Can't get the confirm though. This is looking ever so slightly worse for a nice situation. Good block going to be saving both characters in that. Are they able to get the punish? Yeah, and the what was you going the wrong direction?
Just like that, in the blink of an eye, BXR loses Yuzuriha. Knight is able to keep both characters. Being able to hit with the 5P.
Oh my god!
Being able to convert the Phantom Pain! Activated Resonance just trying to get something up. I kill Naoto.
Yeah, definitely risky predicament here. This is not a good. What the frick was that? Was that reverse hit 2A?
Yeah. Kinda.
It's Ruby. What am I expecting?
Well, I'm a Ruby player and I haven't seen that in never.
How many Noels have you fought in your lifetime?
1.5.
I'm kind of afraid how you fought half a Noel player.
Oh, because they just play for one set and then they just switch to the other character.
Okay. No. I think it's not 1.5 no player. It's probably like one in whatever fraction amount of games that you played. Like if you played like 50 games, that's like what? That's like 1 in. What's 1 over 50? Turn into a decimal. I can't do this off the top of my head.
Give me, I'm going to get the calculator, but besides of that...
One in 02 Noel players.
Besides, let's get back to our normal programming. Nice punish off the burst. Right now, Knight is able to capitalize out of that. A nice chunk of damage and putting Yuzuriha back in the corner.
Yeah, that's been a classic situation. The 5A 5C Oki, very funny there, but oh my god, that was unfortunate. I think they might have wanted some type of active swap there instead of a DP, but yeah, this is a This is the roughest game we've seen so far for BXR, and getting hit by the overhead too. This this is gonna be quite the mountain.
Yeah, great level 2 resonance one bar, not that much resources to work with, and both Noel and Naoto are very much healthy. Now with the 4P, we're probably into a heal, they have 5 bars plus a quick couch, we have everything in the world to secure an easy win very smoothly, and in a amazing fashion, I take the third game.
For sure. And that's yeah, you know, that I think that was just simply a BB tag game where sometimes you just get hit once and it snowballs right out of control.
Yeah, that was very much unfortunate. That just happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do a bad decision that on consequence turns into a very worse decision than the one before. But those kind of like things happen, especially in tournament. And like I think the hardest thing that you know to do afterwards is to be able to accept that it happened and move forward and give your best in the next match. But sometimes it's quite difficult when something like that happens in tournament.
Yeah, and it's gonna force over a character swap. So they're gonna have to play this for the rest of the set. But I mean, it's a nice basket to put all your eggs in. I would say popping the cross combo there. But yeah, just gonna be wasting that situation with a burst of their own, and going to be getting a counter hit 2A for their troubles too. Not going to be going into the corner, but missing the tech chase and getting another DP.
Corner. Oh, the Phantom being able to punish the burst. Okay, right now I'm able to get all the advantage in the world. They can buy burst. Sadly, they are able to confirm, and with that, the BXR is saying, "Get out of there!" But they got hit by the transfer. Oh, once again, we're in the same situation, similar to last game. BXR needs to make something, a miracle happen, but right now, Knight takes all the advantage. They have enough resources to kill, but they're going for BXR in now. One touch good.
Yeah, going in with the wake up super. It's a start for sure, but gets the sandwich situation with the 4P. Waking up with the super, and yeah, doesn't need to push block due to no stream drag there. And despite how close the first two games were, it looks like BXR's number was had against Knight in those last two games. Knight going to be taking set 3-1.
Indeed, that was a great set overall. Sadly, BXR wasn't able to make it through this time. It was a nice performance overall. It was a great show. But yeah, I'm very, it's very hard against like a character like Noel isn't that played, so you need to be like very like much object about it. And also having Naoto Kurogane interface against being like someone that's used to be playing like an aerial game, let's say, like you're used to outspace your opponent with your JJ, maybe trying and go for PC Bosso active switch to get some pressure going on, just having something of freedom or liberty doing something there, and then putting in the mix Naoto's 4P that leaves like a great dent on your game plan, and overall like the great knowledge that Knight had, because they were able to confirm like very weird situations into a nice combo and go through there. It's very difficult, especially for BXR. But regardless, it was a nice set for both of the players.
Be moving on to the next side of the bracket, going to be Jay versus Chickenfish. Yeah, I saw Jay a little bit earlier. Chickenfish, a player that I'm not super familiar with, but also locking in a Shirogane team, that Neo Shirogane team comp. I think I can't remember exactly the name of this player, but I know somebody. I want to say they were a South American player that played Neo Shirogane. Someone's gonna have to check up on.
I think it was they're called Nesu, right, or something like that. I think they were from Japan. I think. I'm trying to remember, but yeah.
Does Nezu play this team? This seems like a Nezu team, actually. But I think, I don't know, I'm remembering somebody from South America playing it, but you might be right about Nezu.
Let's see. I'm going to try and search something, but regardless, what the team brings to the table, it's great. Both Shirogane and Neo work surprisingly very well together. It can be very impressive, especially because of what Naoto Shirogane assists brings to the table and what Neo can take advantage of it. It's very, very beneficial. Of course, with Neo you take into consideration the lack of like explosive damage, but still that doesn't mean like it's going to be like a non-worthy character. So they need to be very, very, very mindful, especially on pressure.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think one of the nicest things about Nero Shirogane is, even though technically average damage between the two is pretty low, having access to those marks is pretty big, I would say. Neo is not a character that really cares about using that much meter. She has ways to kind of meter dump, but they're not very efficient. So you do have access to more meter for like marks and stuff. And of course, it's not a thing that I think should define how you play Shirogane, but it very much is a core feature of the character. And I think something that Neo Shirogane is particularly good at kind of utilizing, because Neo gets a lot of hits, right? She's a very tricky character and she can mix you up very well. So she's able to set up marks decently well and also cash out on marks, assuming you have meter, without really spending resources of her own. So it can be a team with a surprising amount of lethality.
Right now we start strong after a burst punish, putting out Shirogane almost hit the corner. They decide to, go for extra damage right in the corner. So that's very important. DSMR at the end to be getting with punish, putting Naoto in the red. Very, very careful.
Catching out into the super, going in with the overhead check, trying to go for the EX grab a chicken fish, keeping it all real here. We're keeping it all tight. Pretty simple mix up there. Going to be ruining that perfect with the JB and getting the counter hit throw to Jay's time to get going. Trying to bait out a DP, but a DP coming out when they're not expecting it. Going to be another DP straight back in the situation. This is still looking pretty rough for Jay. Probably one touch on both their characters.
Take up a throw, JB being able to connect, but not being able to get him out of it. JB hitting force. They want to save Kanji. 5C being able to connect. Decide to not spend mirror, decide to go for Marvelous. Right now, both Naotos are like maybe 2, maybe 1 situation away from dying. They be careful. Chicken fish, but sadly, Kanji gets shut down, and now it's solo Naoto.
Oh yeah. So one unfortunate thing about Shirogane's Hama Super is they do not have invul, so they're pretty poor reversals. We saw a little bit of that there, and oh my god, is he just gonna die? No, you're the wrong way. Yeah, the autocorrect of where Neo's body was did not work out, but this should be a kill, assuming there's a punish. There's no punish.
Oh well, they're now going nuts with the super. With another super, not being able to kill this time around, but now Naoto is marked, both of them are, but they need to be very, very careful of what they do. Oh yeah, as mentioned before, there's no info on Hama. And Jay, even though at the beginning of the match, it was very much Chicken Fish favor, able to take it back.
So just through the power of, I know Kanji kind of went down a little bit earlier than they probably would have liked, but I think just the presence was enough to kind of back Chicken Fish into the corner. Kind of maybe made them rethink their game plan, or they felt the pressure going on and wasn't able to necessarily pick up back the pieces. I mean, without incredibly close everything, they did the same round start. And you know what, Chicken Fish getting happy birthday for their troubles though.
Oh, they got command grab when they were trying to throw. That's very unfortunate. Sports by you right now, Chicken Fish, even though it was like a raw beginning, they were able to pick it back until it wasn't. Now Jay takes the command once again, putting Neo in the corner and Kanji to get the throw with it. maybe being able to go for 5A?
It can't end like this. Come on. You brought this on yourself. Take this.
Oh my god, from the freaking other side of the screen, gonna get that EX command grab, and yeah, Chicken Fish gonna be put into this unfortunate corner position. This should be a kill as long as there's a little bit of a follow-up. Yeah, and yeah. Jay, despite how rough everything was looking at the first game, gonna be taking a very dominant game too.
Indeed, yeah, it was. That's the thing with Kanji. Even though the character, like, objectively isn't that great, if you like get grabbed many times, you're not able to like give yourself some distance against him. It's going to be very rough for you because he has fast throws, he has damage. So it can be very overwhelming. You're not able to like push him away. And right now, Jay like took great advantage.
Yeah, gonna be swapping over into that Neo. Managed to actually dodge the 5P there. Gets put in the same situation. Gonna be trying at CC as well as possible, but does not block the overhead check there from Neo. Gonna be forcing out a burst on Jay's side and a good DP in order to get back control of the situation. And yeah, this is looking back to Chicken Fish's favor.
We get something out of it. Sadly, the 5C get thrown. Not being able to and just being able to instant cross up. That was nice. No, but they did the but they jumped. It's person, not being able to connect. Regardless, they're going back to the corner. And it's a blind situation where from there, but it doesn't matter. They get the EX command grab, but the force hits both. Well, hit both.
DPing straight through the gunshots is brave, and so was calling in that Neo as well as going for the command grab. We're going in for a quote-unquote honest Shirogane mirror, but 2A confirms here. Not going to be getting anything kills yet, but just enough damage on the board with that DP in order for Chicken Fish to take the first, for their first game.
There were a lot of bullets being shot. Wow, that was very close. We have seen in the first game and now this game 2 times that Naoto has faced against each other. So let's see if Jay is able to seal the deal with this next match, or if Chicken Fish is able to, being able to adapt after all these matches, being able to get the reversal.
Let's get this done.
Right. Let's show them our strength. Shall we, Kanji? Stay calm and let's use the plan we discussed. Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight! Let's go! You, let's go!
Alright, yeah, just playing some spacing game right there. Alright, we're gonna fight over here, playing some Call of Duty as they would call it. Gonna be forcing out a burst. A very nice air assault to avoid the 5A there with the air command throw, getting another grab as well. Nice solid chunk of damage. Another grab there. Yeah, we are going through the loop right now.
But regardless, Naoto Sugar is able to almost get a happy birthday, but nice hits on the Kanji and getting a mark. Come on, some pressure, need to be very careful right now.
Yeah, could have been a potential dead Kanji there. Thankfully, not enough meter to catch out in the Hama. That was kind of an insane conversion. I'm surprised the 5P hit that high. This shouldn't be a kill with the meter they have available, but this is a potential reset, and there it is. Yeah, going to be getting that overhead check, but that Neo looking really low, and she's going straight down there with that EX grab.
Regardless, since Kanji got marked, they need to be very careful of what they do now, especially Naoto Sugar on resonance. In any bad, like situation, bad moment, you're gonna can do anything, and you can die, just like now.
Yeah, and getting that Hama, the mark paying off earlier, going to be allowing this set to get tied up 2-2.
I suggest you give up. I've done the calculations and the
Interesting. Well,
probability
that's
of you winning. Well,
a very nice showing of why Naoto Shirogane is very, very dangerous. Even though she was alone, even though it was resistance time, the mark it's such a strong tool for a comeback, for putting you in a more advantage than you were on before. You need to be very, very mindful and to always be careful when Naoto Shirogane is on the screen.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where like Shirogane is like being a zoner character, especially like kind of a setup zoner. Like you don't want to give her too much space, but like with your mark, it can be that fine line between needing to put pressure on her and just making sure that you just don't die.
Of course, back to the game, just trying to set up traps and shooting, trying to get a pressure, pushing back on just trying to, but sadly, not utilized. And Jay invites you to put Neo back in the corner.
Swapped into the Kanji at just the wrong time in order to get command throw by the Neo too. Gonna bring up the situation. Yeah, Kanji's DP, for as weird as it is, does have a lot of nice benefits, like being able to invul through a lot of things, and Neo is looking quite bad. One bad throw will do it, and a DP bait will almost be the case there, but not able to land in time to avoid that air grab. Solo Naoto Shirogane, probably the ideal character they want to make this comeback with, but still going to be a rough situation from this point.
Trying as much as going. Nice to be being able to use some distance, but sadly for Chicken Fish, the resistance time is over, so trying to maintain like cheap damage or some pressure is very like hard to do. Almost now to Shirogane is great, but they were able to use the just in time. TP once again, and yes!
Oh my god. They're going in for the throw. Oh my god, hard burst bait there in that situation. Maybe not the right call there for Jay, allowing Chicken Fish to get in a situation, not going to be punished with that air command throw. And no, that's Curtains there. Going to be going for the super command throw as a reversal to bet it all on the set there. Jay going to be taking the set 3-2 and probably the closest match of the night.
Indeed, I'm going to upset Bear myself. That was such a close set, and all the matches too. Like we have seen, like the matches that it was always like the 1v1 situation, except like maybe 2, but especially when Chicken Fish started to like make the comeback happening. But yeah, that was insane, very, very much insane, and I'm surprised the amount of like as I said mentioned before, Kanji has it rough. But that doesn't mean that he cannot like cook. He has a lot of things that he can and will do, and you need to be very, very mindful of it. So yeah, great subject.
Yeah, like Kanji, I think, is probably the most terrifying character in the corner, to be honest. Like he has a lot of ways to kind of like mitigate like normal anti grappler things, like jumping out. You know, he has that anti-air command grab that he can kind of just hold out and force you to respect. His reward on getting a successful command throw is high too. He gets like a full conversion and a pretty nice chunk of damage too, and like with Shirogane in the back, like he can cover his weak points. So getting in that corner position can really snowball out of control, and Jay, even though it was a really close game, was able to implement a lot of that threatening corner pressure and that corner positioning in order to like really get to that point where it was close.
Indeed, I have said for myself. With that said, still here on Loose Side of Things quarterfinals, we're going to see a Fish Liquor against Knight. I was about to say that probably we were going to see a Noel mirror, but Knight decides to switch to Makoto and Platinum the Trinity. Interesting pick.
Yeah, that's a very emphatic team to make a statement with it. Like, there's definitely something to be said that if you're confident at playing Platinum, you maybe should be you should be respected to some degree. But like, yeah, Makoto and Platinum, one of the two of the characters that are very janky and very like awkward to pilot. Honestly, I could really say that about every character on screen, including Izayoi to some degree. Like, very weird characters being played.
Indeed, this is something that usually you like try and get like some kind of like synergy going on, and especially with Makoto and Platinum, like both of them like have a lot of things going on, and I don't see like them with each other, but we don't know yet. Maybe Hyde is going to show us something new tonight, so let's see what they have.
Okay, not able to convert off that 6P. The 4P able to get in there. STP out of the situation too, but going to be getting disrespected there with throw Noel. Looking not super hot, but managing in his corner position is a good start for Fish Flicker.
Oh, they were able to make a little chicken. Regardless, they will try to go for a true throw, but nothing happens again. That's very, very unfortunate. Regardless, they go wake up, super on wake up, and that's it was a punish, yes, but it's not the most. Regardless, there was big and almost putting Platinum.
Oh no, yeah. Makoto's combos are relatively burstable, but like that 5B point is the one time you can't do it. No Makoto jank, as long as Platinum jank, going to be not working in nice favor there.
Forgotten actually hitting and healing Noel. Very, very careful. Now there one character wake up dying. Trying to super wake up and sadly doesn't pay off at night. With this very unorthodox team are able to take the first game.
Yeah, and like, honestly, Platinum, like, on point really didn't get to do much, but I think one of the most underrated parts about Platinum's kit is her 4P. It's surprisingly active and surprisingly big, and the follow-ups, even though they're RNG, most of them are, like, good enough. And saw a lot of 4P utilization there in order to really like put a stop to a lot of Fish Flicker's pressure. Going to be forcing a swap over into what I can only assume to be their main team, which is their Blank Yang. I forgot names there for a second.
No worries at all. So let's hope this is able to pay off. Maybe it's a more comfortable speed. Let's see if Hyde. Interesting. Wow, I'm amazed that he was able to connect. Regardless, not that much of the troubles. In a terrible situation. What's up? Fortunately, there are of course issues. Okay, hitting. Yeah, that's the perks of being RNG.
Yeah, it definitely can be hard for your opponent to know what to do, and the Makoto combo dropping there, I don't exactly know how. A DP out of the situation gets caught in a sandwich scenario, but it's just going to get push blocked for their troubles, and managing to thread the needle between the assist and the firecracker in order to get this meteor cannon, but like, Hyde is fighting Makoto right now. Like, like, I don't know how else to put it, like... Hyde is fighting both Fish Flicker and Makoto's jankiness, but they're coming out on top!
I have to for myself. Right now, decide to go for DC, putting all the damage they can. It's not going to secure a kill per se, but it's going to be like in a very comfortable situation. Gets the overhead, putting Yang right on solo. Once again, it's not going to be able to kill, and it's going to put Yang on Semblances. Very, very careful what they do. 5E connected on the field. Looking for them, but they didn't get that much damage. They get the punished, but not enough to convert. Oh, that was good.
Ooh, yeah, getting the command grab, and because she's in Semblance, like, she is going to be able to convert off. Okay, I was gonna say there's some situations here where Fish Flicker might have just died due to weird interactions. DP out of that situation. got a throw punish, but not respecting the Yang there is gonna pay off. But Vic's like, you're going for a little bit too fancy of a combo. This might come back to bite them, as yeah, gonna be getting a little bit of health back, and they could have just killed.
Oh, that's such a shame. They were able to almost get a nice comeback. They got a nice starter. It was guaranteed. They had enough resources. It was a nice starter, as I mentioned before. But sadly, they went a bit too fancy, too classy. And at the end, that really, it took everything. But with that said, Knight is able to capitalize. And still winning the Makoto and the Platinum Team Comp. It's still showing that somehow, some way, BB Tag, you can pick any character, and despite of any junkness that can happen, it can still work, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like, God. There's so many situations that, like, I feel like Knight should have had, like, locked down, but just Makoto.
There's no better way to put it. That's just a nice comment. Nevertheless, going back to the match, just trying to get in, very close to the beast, being able to almost get punished. Get the 4-piece, sadly this time around is able to get punished, but now Makoto now takes a nice chunk of damage.
Alright, okay, almost got that 5C there. Not quite. And that is an unfortunate place to burst. Yeah, the Yang JC when it comes to burst is a little weird. Not a really good place to do it there. But hey, getting out of the situation, but getting 5B for the Turtle Fish Licker. Looking a lot more confident. This should kill with all the bars spent, but absolutely worth it to get out that character.
Oh, Makoto, even though Ashika's high damaging routes, still it's very just like that, like trying to get in, trying to get some pressure, like it's very much like lifeless at water. And this time around, Fish Licker like took advantage of it, and just like that, takes the game, and now we are 2-1. I wonder if Knight is going to like stick with the Makoto like choice, or go back to Noel no, Takane.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, like, keep it for the bit. On the other hand, they won a game, and won the game pretty confidently, but maybe it's time, swap it up. Make sure you're playing something that you're, I would assume, more familiar with, but like the way they're playing Makoto Platinum, I could believe that they play that team a lot.
Please, stop this.
It was a very young team. It really was able to get 2 points on the board. It really worked very nice. But maybe, it's better to play it safe, especially in a tournament setting, and just go with the probably main.
Alright, the comically sized 4P as always, already making the stride. Good anti-air on the Noel. Very excellent coverage with their 4P of their own, but the 4Ps never stop coming out. No solid hit so far until I say something.
Back at the computer's booth, huh?
Yep, it's been a while.
That's it. Knight showing a lot of bridge that not being able to do the phantom flip, but they were able to like navigate through that nice 2A. Nice DP recognition with the phantom game away. Come back and grab, going to get punished by the super, and now it's going to be solid like 16k character against 2 pretty much like characters with 2 bars, assist gouge.
I think that might just be dead. Oh yeah, too much dip on the chip there. Let me give it another chance, but you're just gonna sit there 4P. Okay, you know what? They were just gonna sit there and take it, but hey, back in the corner, more 4Ps, managing to get the confirm here on Fish Licker, and even before the residents run out, looks like Knight going to be taking the set 3-1 over them.
Yeah, nice performance for both players. Still, I'm quite much surprised the way they were able to navigate with Makoto and Platinum. It really was fascinating to see. But to seal the deal, move on the bracket, they go to the main. But still, Fish Liquor really show what they can do. They have played this time many times before, and they show a good performance on this. So yeah, great match, both of you, great job.
For sure. And you know, we are moving up to the other side of the losers, which is BrazenWhiteRose versus Jay. That's gonna be a very interesting matchup, I think.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, because you know, BrazenWhiteRose, we have seen what she go for guns a blazing. The moment they see like an opening of some sort, they decide to maybe a 5A, maybe a JA. Oh, I have enough distance, 5B, go for something very explosive. Jay, on the other hand, they're playing Naoto Shogun. Usually, you like take some like distance so you can set up your traps, put your some shots of your gun, and just try and wait until you're able to mark. So it's going to be like a clash of places per se, because it's going to be like pretty much guns blazing, in contrast of a more defensive kind of play. Still, Kanji in the like mix of them all. It's almost like something like similar to Guns Blazing, but we're going to see like similarities when it comes to gameplay.
Yes. Like. In terms of Yumi Rui has kind of been what's consistently been played by BrazenWhiteRose, and I don't imagine Jay's gonna be swapping off the team comp, so just gotta wait for them to show up.
In the meantime, I just want to say thank you for everybody that is just watching here tonight on TMN Neo number 43. We are very happy to be back here, not only as a tournament series but us commentators to be back doing what we love most, for people to play BTAC, to us to watch BTAC, and just enjoy the game. So shout outs to everybody just watching, the Os, the players, they're doing fantastic. Definitely.
Always make sure you shout out your TOs and stream runners. They do a lot of wonderful work. Not necessarily the people that you hear too much about, but they are just about as important, if not more important, than the people you do hear.
Indeed. Yeah, let's hope that Jay is able to join the room really soon. But yeah, now talking about Jay, they were able to have a great performance against Chicken Fish. The previous, I think it was 3-2, the score they have. It was a very close set. So I think right now, when it comes to mentality, I think they have like a bit of a nice, great starter. After a match that close and you getting on top, especially in tournament play, you feel like on top of the world. You feel a bit more confident, not too overconfident though, but you feel like secure, and you can like do everything. And still, BrazenWhiteRose had a great performance, and still now, even though they're in losers, that doesn't mean that they're out of the tournament per se. So yeah, both players have shown that they have like the capacity of doing great stuff. So I am very curious of how they collide together.
Get
and
ready.
Just like that, it's here, and let's see how things goes.
This is consistently with Kanji, always going to be a rough matchup, but this one in particular, I feel like with how Kanji generally works as a grappler, they inherently have to leave some holes for you to, to set up their like command grab stuff, which can be a bane and a boon. And for a character like Yumi that's very on point with being able to punish some punishing like untight pressure, I think it's going to be more difficult for Jay to find opportunities to really keep their momentum without making their just the right calls completely.
But luckily for him, there wasn't like a steal. Right now, Naoto is support. Luckily for Jay, they went and now they, with that, Kanji give one opportunity and now it's on the loose. Oh no, but they switched to now the problem 20 go for first round. Now it's so Kanji.
Yeah, good DP avoiding that situation. A little bit of a risky swap out into the Ruby, but good DP to avoid the command throws. Not going to be getting that punish, but does wake up with the what is that super called? The 2-1-4 super.
I was thinking about it, but I wasn't able to. Yeah.
Spin. It's called the spin.
The spin. So yeah, with that said, BrazenWhiteRose is able to take the first match of the set. Considering everything, even though Naoto Shogane pretty much like died relatively quickly on the match, it was quite close. It was like 1v1 situation. Sadly, they got whip punished after the throw. But yeah, I think Jay, they're able to play a bit more careful. It's very, very hard for Kanji overall, but I think
good pressure there. Nice counter hit JB, but not able to punish the burst. Once again, 5A going to be coming out. And a very nice anti-air and a smooth conversion. Going to be putting this Shirogane into the corner. Going to be tacking out as much damage as you possibly can to. Okay. Honestly, that could have been worse. That could have been a lot worse.
Indeed, especially against Yumi. After that, it worse, but regardless, Naoto is out of the picture once again. Hyde trying to do something in this kind of situation. Oh, but yeah, there's not that much to do against, especially against Lavender. Like, you cannot like try and contest like JA or KB. Your JA is relatively like fast, but not that fast. You don't have enough range. AP takes a lot of time. You're not able to be on the ground that much because your 2B is too slow to start up. It's so hard. And that's take into consideration that also we have like all the assist tools that Yumi provides. So yeah, in a 2v1 situation, being a grappler, especially Kanji, it's very, very, very hard to do.
Can't escape from crossing fate.
Sure. Alright, that was a very bold air command grab there. Almost worked out, but Kanji missing by like just a couple centimeters. Push like on the situation, but keep the pressure going here. The Yumi going to be putting Shirogane in like basically a one-touch zone, unless they try to do a DP.
Oh, that's such a shame. It's still not the most okay, but still when it comes to like advantage in it, because it's very damaging. Oh, the super big game and now once again, solo Kanji against the wall. Nothing that you can do that much in the air against full character. Trying to go for a 5, just trying to do something to get over the corner, but it's going to be very, very hard.
The overhead baits out the DP, and I think this is looking like curtains for Jay.
Very fast-paced game, very dominant as well. 3-0 BrazenWhiteRose. All the advantage in the world. Sadly, this time around Jay wasn't able to stabilize, but regardless, it was a nice attempt. It was a great performance, but it was still hard. It's very, very hard. There wasn't like any distance, so Naoto Shogane could like try and do her magic, and she died relatively quickly when it comes to like all the matches, leaving like kind to try to pick us up the situation, but with not that resources, not that great frame data, not having an assist tool, and dealing with a team that has relatively like great health and all the resources in the world, having greater frame data than you, it's very, very hard. Regardless, it was a nice effort, it was a good performance. Congratulations to BrazenWhiteRose to move on, and great stuff from Jay. So.
For For sure. And we're gonna move it on to our winner's final set, Lavi versus Mr. Pengu. And, you know, Mr. Pengu, a player before the start of this tournament I was relatively unfamiliar with, but hey, you know, sitting here against Grant in winners finals, going against a potential TMN graduate is very impressive stuff.
Indeed, Pengu really surprised us in the set against BrazenWhiteRose. You know, they have showed like very great stuff overall. We're going to see once again a Ruby Mirror, but both like teams have like different game plans to going around with. Mr. Pengu is going for a more like concept blazing kind of playstyle, trying to go in the corner and try to do jank stuff, while Lavender is most about like space control and just trying to like control with all the things you can do. So yeah, I'm very like, excited of how like these both teams, even though they share the same character, are going to play a bit differently.
Yeah, and it's like, if anything, this speaks kind of speaks volumes to the flexibility that Ruby has. That is, she's able to really slot in pretty swimmingly into two entirely different game plans. You know, a more zoner-centric, in-out approach, and a more like in-your-face, like aggressive approach to that you have with Yang and Ruby. So we're gonna see a lot of implementation of like kind of the same tools being used in different ways, which is always an exciting thing to see. I will say, you know, Yang is a character that isn't super traditionally powerful into zoners, so it can be difficult for her to get in. That being said, though, if she is able to get in, the amount of pressure that they are able to apply to a character like Rachel, who does actually have pretty good defensive options relative to other zoner characters, really put her down and really like force her to spend resources, or at least make her feel uncomfortable, or at the very least stop her from setting up like stuff like low bellies for the time being. So yeah, it's always a interesting dynamic to see the Zora versus kind of rushdown dynamic.
Yes, I'm very excited to see how this is going to be on display. Because we haven't seen them like together in action, we have seen them like separately. So let's see how it's going to be. Right now, nice for once placing, just jumping in face with the JP, going all the way to the corner, and almost getting a command grab. Luckily for Lavi, they have 9 reactions, so they were able to capitalize. And now Pengu on the
yeah, Levy getting some hits and going to be setting up the Jord, forcing out some push blocks here or there, punishing the 2B because there was no follow-up here. This is actually... okay, you know what? Barely not hitting that semblance point, that critical hit point too, and forcing out a burst into the Ruby. The 4P will be coming out in order to beat out the Ruby too. Lavi looking quite well here in this match. I hate Rachel 6B.
I think we go for the 4P. It doesn't matter. Yep, Jang doesn't matter. 5U is able to take it all. He's being able to do the wheel to up in that JC. What's happening? Jang gets killed, and Ruby gets clipped by the last remaining part of the super. And now it became pretty much 1v1 all of the sudden. Lavender having great.
Oh no. It's cooked.
Damn. Very saddening, very unexpected. We got an Astral this very late on the bracket. And yeah, Lavender, you know, takes advantage of it, hops on it, and seals the deal with a nice Astral finish. Putting the first point of this set.
Ready. Get ready.
And that was yeah, just the volatile game that we play. It's just like, oh yeah, you know, Lavi having the advantage here, and it just took one bad like block on an overhead for everything to spiral out of control.
Yeah, that's something that happens, especially in this game. Like, it's very fast paced. You need to do a lot of positions at the time. and what bad decision can cause into a lot of trouble. Lots of trouble. Happy ready to start off things. Not looking great right now for Mr. Pengu gaining all the hits in the world. It's not going to be like that because of damage, especially if we drop the combo. Now Mr. Pengu is able to capitalize out of it and putting Ruby on the other corner.
Lavie once again being pretty bold here with how much the Ruby is available, but not going to be captured out into a kill. This is still risky to keep her in, even though you got this combo here. Yeah, just one bad DP, a little too bold on that. And not going to be killing out the Yang of the scenario, but still left with the level 4 Resonance Rachel. This is actually looking relatively fine in terms of the health total, but I'm sure that they would prefer playing a 2v2 right now.
Luckily for right now, we should be able to hit Rachel, but not being that much of a pressure when it comes to the polar pressure. Oh, nice! They got punish after that throw. Putting Rachel in the red. They have 5 bars on deck. Oh, but sadly they are unable to stabilize the combo correctly. Now they're in a very tough situation.
Yeah, that throw, 9 bars on deck. Yeah, Rachel does have some pretty nice meter dump, and the only thing being dumped apparently is her body into that river back there, as she did killed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very, very unfortunate. That, you know, I mean, the idea was there, right? Like, you can put a lot of supers, you put all your mirror, but sadly, putting all your eggs in one basket sometimes backfires, especially if, you know, the scaling is a bit too much. And of course, Yang, just to, like, make it to hurt more, activate Semblance and, you know, finish job. Oh, that's very unfortunate for Lavie.
Well, Ruby, you having
For
fun
sure.
now? Of course! I get to fight with you! Can't escape from crossing fate! Fight! Ruby!
Maybe starting off trying to get some pressure in, but oh no, jump straight into the loving Ruby buttons here. Started off with a happy birthday. Now, not the hugest amount of damage by any means, but you're not going to complain about a free 8.5k on both characters. Jump out of 5C though, sets up the sandwich scenario, get the low, and it's I was going to say fix earlier. Mr. Pengu's time to get going here in this corner, and the pressure is getting going pretty well until it stopped going well for Lavie, and yeah, it was back and forth situation, but Mr. Pengu definitely taking the brunt of it right now.
Right now, Pengu being able to hit on Lavie. Sadly, you always need to be very, very careful with the 4-piece. Luckily for Mr. Pengu, there wasn't like that much of a punish at first. Oh, that was so risky that confirm it. Once again, like there's a lot going on.
Oh my god, oh god. Spaghetti on the floor. Meatballs on the ground.
Oh, that's such a shame. Oh, but that was a nice punish. They have relatively a lot of resources, but yeah, sadly they weren't able to do. But this time they were all done up. Reset at the end, and now it's
yeah, couldn't quite confirm off that, blocks the super there. Yeah, just gonna be bravely Hyde being through it in order to beat out Lavie. Mr. Pengu going to be going up another game, which was looking kind of bad, but you know what? The power of Yang. Sometimes you just gotta run forward and kill him.
Indeed. Yeah, it's that super of Rachel, like it's very scary. Sometimes when you try to punish, like there are like some remnants of the hitbox that can hit, and sometimes she just straight up like hits you like the last hits. But yeah, regardless, nice job to Mr. Pengu. And I noticed that Lavie decided to, you know, change stuff a bit and change protagonist. Instead of, you know, Ruby Rose, we are going for Ragna, the Blood Edge.
Yeah, you know, interesting swap over to the team comp. Like, I don't know how much experience Lavie has on Ragna, but probably wants to maybe play a little more explosive, high damaging character instead of like, you know, just trying to mitigate mitigate by playing neutral, but yeah, it's not looking hot so far. Just getting constantly pressured. Got to activate the cross combo. Going to be stopping it, but still going to be kind of on the back foot here. Does manage to get a little bit of a punish there on that whiff, and they are going to be starting those Rachel loops unless they drop.
Oh, but they're able to, you know, save it with the 4P. They were able to burst out because they didn't have enough resources to like punish the burst. But still, with Ragna is a bit low on health. Like one situation, like 5 bad situations can like lost the character. Yeah, just like that, Ragna is out of the picture, leaving solo Rachel. Level 3 resonance, 4 bars. Yeah, it's not that bad for Rachel because of the chip damage and what she can do. It's still, you'd be very mindful because Yang benefits of being in low health. So let's see how they play.
For that, George is in the back, and there's gonna be some respect. I feel kind of like that for Mr. Pengu. You know, the chip is a kind of a detriment sometimes, but like against Yang, you know, lets her activate the semblance. That being said, I don't know if how much I like her being out for this long, but okay, yeah, gonna be swapping it out now.
Nice to be a very bold, but you know, it pays off. Not being able to confirm, but it doesn't matter. Gets the combo done. Yeah, Mr. Pengu being able to take the set 3-1. Very good stuff.
For sure, and like Mr. Pengu just she's showing some pretty good just utilization of the general game plan of Yang Ruby. Just very solid understanding of like how the team wants to operate, and especially their Oki situations seem to be pretty locked down. And I think that's one of the hallmarks of the team is that the Oki can be quite a vortex to have to deal with. And like obviously, you know, Rachel can also implement a similar style of gameplay, but what Yang Ruby provides is pretty simplistic overall in what it can do. It's very much a, you know, high-low or command grab type of scenario, but just implemented in a way that was very consistent, covered a lot of options, not without its own risks for sure, but was able to kind of allow them to really take advantage of a lot of the hits that they were able to get. So solid stuff going over to Mr. Pengu, and you know, Lavender still has a chance in the loser side of the bracket.
Indeed. That said, now it's time for losers semifinals. So we're going to see Knight against BrazenWhiteRose. So I think we have seen something similar. So Knight need to be like we have seen Makoto as well as Platinum, and of course Naoto Kurogane with and I see that this item mixed me up. Now they're going for random nonsense. But Akihiko Waldstein actually is a legit team. He can work pretty nice. But yeah, BrazenWhiteRose, we already know what they're going about. Guns Blazing, just trying to about their way in. So let's see. I'm very curious of this team comp that Knight right now puts with Akihiko and Wolf.
Yeah, and like if this team was truly random, they definitely hit gold. But like in terms of Akihiko team comps, I know that this is one of his bests. Wald Assist just meshed really well with Akihiko's general game plan, and we're not going to see any of that. Going to be swapping over to the Weiss Akatsuki, which is I mean, you know, it's Akatsuki. How bad could the team be? And it's not really a team comp that I see a lot of Weiss players opt to go for, but you know, I can imagine it's pretty solid overall. Akatsuki has strong support value. Weiss has good buttons, probably good neutral. I don't know what Knight is thinking. They've just kind of been swapping over teams, just judging what the vibe is. No, we're back to Akihiko. Well, we are going to see it.
Yeah, this team is so great. Akihiko plus Waldstein, you know, assists, like, it gives him a lot of stuff to work with. Last time I played against this team in particular was years ago on Siege Stack against Pokemon. So I like know this team like can cook, and one bad interaction can like cost the game. So BrazenWhiteRose needs to play a bit careful, but it's going to be hard considering the way they have been performing so far. They have like this more of an offensive playstyle rather than a defensive one. So let's see how things play out.
For sure. Yeah, gonna be starting off with that corkscrew right here. And yeah, that ginormous 5P gonna be hitting from all the way to the skies, baiting out the burst 2, getting the reset, level 5 Cyclone Glab. This is the exact type of flow Akihiko wants to have, unless you drop the combo. But you know what? Everything's just an American reset at the end of the day.
Oh, this is very, very bad from BrazenWhiteRose. Let's resist 3 bars. That clash that was kind of stupid. Looking for them, they're able to do wake up, get a nice chunk of damage. Not a reasonable, but still, they need to be very, very careful what they do next. Because Akihiko
Sway. Grab Sway is an insane play. Fortunately, not going to be killing off the situation, but will be putting him into that one-touch area. What a nice 4P call, managing to thread the needle there in order to bait out the DP, and Akihiko somehow managed to live through all of that, push and block him out of there too. Yeah, gonna be respecting the DP as well, and BrazenWhiteRose making a slow but steady comeback.
very good of what they do. Oh, they got hit, and now it's all back to turn. They have 3 bars on deck. Oh, suddenly they were almost complaining that much. Too much for the scaling. Was literally one touch away, and with that said, Ruby takes out. But regardless of what happened, it was very close match. Like Yumi, died very early on in the match, and BrazenWhiteRose almost makes a big comeback. So props to that. So let's see if they're able to bring that kind of same energy in the next match. But for now, Knight takes the first game with this very solid team.
Yeah, we're gonna be swapping over to the Hyde Noel. Noel, has been seen a lot tonight, so I'm sure Knight has a experience being a Noel player themselves in the matchup, but very curious to see the reasoning behind these team swap. Maybe just trying to change something up to keep them on their toes. But yeah, it's not what I would have expected.
I mean, Hyde has an amazing assist kit. He's able to knock down well with 5P and 6P, and the chip damage is also a factor that needs to be getting into consideration. But I never would have guessed with the Makoto Noel. But right now it doesn't matter. Knight right now has put Noel in the reds.
Getting a 6P call, but not quite able to push him out. Ooh, yeah, that is punishable, but just was not right on the draw. Yeah, Wall's unversatile combo should let that kill, but he added that 2C at the end there, so Hyde will be taking quite a bit of damage. Another 2A will be continuing the pressure, though.
All the way to the corner, trying to get something fancy. They almost get away with it. Nice DP, and that thing is almost a death penalty. Very, very careful. Literally one touch away from dying. Yeah, keep it safe. But still, Hyde is one situation away from dying right now. BrazenWhiteRose very uncomfortable situation. And being able to kill Noel, and now Hyde needs to be making a comeback off his life.
Okay, you know what? He's getting another chance here. Pulling level 3 resonance, but they okay. I don't know who was gonna win there in that situation, but Hyde getting a very good deal there. Hyde just surprisingly killing the Akihiko too. Not able to get that confirmed though with a grab. This live comeback slowly but surely looking a little more doable, but 20k health on Waldstein and that ginormous 2B. That is going to be a kill tier for Knight.
Once again, very surprisingly, considering the fact that Noel was almost dead at the beginning of the match, they're able to almost make it through, putting in the 1v1 situation. It's very commendable, it's very, very great, but still, Knight takes the match, and right now I see another team that decided to switch, and now it's Yumi and Hyde. I guess take what they were playing before and just mix them up together. Um, this team, it can work. As I mentioned before, both of them had like nice systems they can work with. Not the team I see most often, not both Yumi and Hyde, respectively. So, yeah, let's see if this time it's able to pay off. Right now, Knight is in a very comfortable position.
忍びの道ここに示しましょう Can't escape from crossing fate.
Let's see how this team swap goes over here. Nice 2A going to be putting some pressure on there, but does not respect the walled 6P in the back, but managing to get confirmed their own burst out of the situation. And yeah, that Yumi counter lasts deceptively long and going to be allowing her to get back into the corner, but he wants a DP straight back.
Oh, in the corner, need to be very careful. There's nothing more scary than a Waldstein in the corner. Oh, nice by BB. Catch. I don't think they have enough resources to kill, so it's going to be one presentation time. The board is not being able to punish per se, but it's fine. Hyde is one situation away from dying. Akihiko does a lot of damage, and they need to be very, very careful of how they play their cards. Very, very scary. A lot of actions.
Oh my god, yeah. Not only was that a whiffed DP punish, but Waldstein did not die in the process, so Yumi coming in is a miracle that they need to make. A sandwich situation, not going to be punishing anything like that. That is the best starter, though. That might actually be a kill with enough meter dump, even though he is 18k. He's barely surviving that. Yeah, 2 chip on the chip, but does managing to get the DP punish. Waldstein coming in with low health, and now suddenly this is not good for Knight.
Very, very careful. Yumi right now has a great advantage ready to go for a command grab. Very interesting stuff. Just trying to help him. Yumi has a nice amount of damage. Still, that's nice capitalizing of the rest of the low time of the rest that he has. Very, very careful because trying to get thrown, gets sticked, and now surprisingly Knight, it's in the lead.
Yeah, but not by much. This is still what's the scenario? Oh my god. The walk, the jump over and just look down. What are you gonna do? You're gonna DP? And Knight was right on that call there. Too much fear there from BrazenWhiteRose, and unfortunately was slowly but surely making their way. Potentially could have won that game, but one good call is all you need to take victory there and move on to fight Lappy in Losers Finals.
Great performance for BrazenWhiteRose. It was great. They were able to, have a great placement in this tournament, so it was great. But yeah, I'm still like processing everything that happened. I'm surprised that the world wins by doing absolutely nothing happened. But yeah, regardless of that, let's see. Lavender against Knight. He also has mentioned like a reminder. Lavi, if they're able to, conquer these 8 brackets and go once again to face Mr. Pengu, like they're in the base of graduating. So right now, this match means a lot. Lavender needs to put their 200% on it, but Knights, I'm sure, it's not going to make it easy.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, Knight's been kind of swapping around with a lot of teams, showcasing a lot of competency with a wide range of characters, and I don't know what's necessarily been dictating their team composition choices. Doesn't really feel like it's necessarily a matchup thing, but like maybe it's something that they know their opponent maybe might have some trouble with, like just trying to get a feel of like, hey, do you know how to play this matchup type of deal? But right now they're logging in with the Noel Kuragane, which has kind of been the tried and true.
Very nice. It's good to see, once again, the Noel Naoto in action. Of course, Lavender going with the thing they are more comfortable with Ruby and Rachel. We saw a bit of Ragna, but we didn't saw like he didn't have like enough time to shine. So yeah, I think it's better to go back to the basics, go to Ruby Rachel, and try our best.
Alright, reversing the situation, but gonna get clapped back there with the Ruby.
And happy birthday! Not that quite. He's just sweet right now and putting her on the corner section. Kind of tough.
Yeah, the Rachel gonna be flying quite a bit away. You need to use that opportunity to swap over into the Noel. Yeah, that Kuragane being quite poor and not enough damage in order to actually take out Gord. That is very unfortunate there. But still, that Ruby, pretty low one-touch scenario, and yeah, that 236B is going to be her death knell.
Resonance 204, that's going to be very tricky to face against. Nice chunk of damage and most to kill, but right now Noel is very much close to die. Nice 4P, catching Rachel up the sky, putting one of themselves back in the floor. But still, Noel is very close to dying. He needs to be very careful and perhaps stop her out.
And that should be curtains there with that 2B call out. Yeah, Knight, little rough with the Noel, but still managing to take the first game.
I have a promise to keep.
Indeed. Great performance about both players. I'm still notice more signs of life of Lavender. I think they have like the right idea of mind of what to do in certain situations, but they're not able to like take advantage of it. And at the end, because of that kind of situations, right now Knight is able to capitalize. They just need to be very careful in certain scenarios and try and take into consideration that being there is now a dangerous zone. They need to be very mindful.
Yeah, instant burst out on both sides actually, so both of them just not wanting to go either one to have any momentum at all. Swap back over to the Ruby with some low belly just sprouted up, and a very nice conversion there from Knight, but drops the combo a little bit there at the end, but this pressure does not stop, keeping it all burst safe.
Kind of risky to jump out like that, but he doesn't hurt. Out of position now. That's how that George is kind of risky, but it doesn't pay off. Rachel gets a lot of punishment, and now she's in a very uncomfortable position now in a 2.
Yeah, going in with the super just to keep it safe, but maybe giving up an opportunity to kill. Still, this is a good position to be in. Try to go in, believed in the confirm, and Lavi. Maybe a little too much pressure being put on Knight here, going 2 games unanswered.
Now that the fighting's over.
Indeed. Yeah, that's such a shame. Like, it really feels that Lavender is really struggling against what, Knight brings to the table. As I mentioned before, I think it's possible that they can make something happen, but, change your game plan from one thing to another in a sort of, like... well, I see that they decide to, instead of going for a more, like, aerial base, they go for something more grounded, and I think it's a good idea to start for something against Naoto, Gordeau, and so let's see. Weiss, Hilda, interesting team come.
Yeah, like this is honestly, I think this is a team that I remember when I first started seeing Lavi play. This is what they worked with, and like in terms of like maybe controlling the storm a little bit, I think this might be better for what they're going for. So maybe trying to leverage the like Weiss's and Hilda's more like longer buttons to kind of like stop Noel's pressure in her tracks, but already starting off pretty poorly here with the overhead check, but not quite going to be a full happy birthday.
Nice there, want to get some kills. The Noel, enter in the corner, both teams activated. Cross combo as well, trying a beat as my brother says. But yeah, sadly, 4P like, oh, what?
That's bad.
I respect it. That was kind of nice.
Okay. A little bit of a risky call there to go in for the DHC, but it does end up working out, getting the double overhead, but still trying to keep the pressure on this Hilda.
Going off for a burst. They need to be very, very careful. Yeah, because the confirms of Hilda can be a little tricky. Combo, trying to keep it with them. Or all the way there. DP activation for 5A. 4P reaching out of the skies. And that's almost at the Hilda.
Yeah, very nice confirmed there, but gotta be careful about those assist call. One touch on both characters, they can really seal the deal. Those icons are gonna come out and probably gonna kill the Noel. 2 level 4 residence characters in play, gonna be baiting that that parry too. No resonance pop, but maybe they don't need it here. Are they able to capitalize this combo, keep it optimized? No, not quite. But wakes up with the super, and I don't think that is going to work out here, as Knight going to be taking the last game 3-0 despite the team spawn.
Oh, that's such a shame. Yeah, regardless, I felt that Lavender felt way better with this time of a game plan, because instead of try and go because Ruby and Rachel usually will go in the sky, trying to get something up, but Poppy was stopping on the tracks. They decided to go for more grounded playstyle with more of with Hilda game plan and Weiss trying to just pick them. It almost worked, but at the end, yeah, sadly, it felt like they were a bit nervous on that last interaction. Both players had not that much health. One touch will secure the kill, and sadly, that Hail Mary super and also that parry really show that signs of trying to get the kill as fast as possible. But regardless, it was a nice attempt from Lavender. This time around, there won't be any graduation, but there's always next time on the next TMN. But yeah, great stuff. And Knight, with that great performance so far, it's going to face Mr. Pengu on Grand Finals.
Yes, and this is a run back from Winners Corners Finals. Mr. Pengu did take the set 3-1, but there has been a lot of trials and tribulations throughout the course of this tournament, and here at this grand final stage, really anything can happen. But with how Knight has been playing, or picking teams more specifically, they could bring out something that Mr. Pengu might not be used to. I don't know what they played in the Winners Corner Final set, but because of what Knight has shown tonight, there is a lot of potential for potential switch ups, and maybe something that can really bring back the momentum compared to the first time around. But we'll see. Mr. Pengu's been pretty clean all night, and actually going to be opting to swap out the Ruby for the Akatsuki instead too. So maybe some more character swap outs to shake things up. We'll have to see when this grand final start.
Indeed. Oh, this can be very risky. Mr. Pengu comes from from winner side of things, so they just need to win 3 times, and that's it. That's all for the books. But Knight, since come from losers, they need to win 3 times, make a bracket reset, and then go for the grand final. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Knight, but they have shown a lot of determination this tournament. So if someone can do it, I think Knight has a great chance. But Mr. Pengu, I don't think he's going to make it easy
as long as we work
for
together,
them.
things will be fine. No holds barred.
Sure.
I'm cranking it up to 11.
Then I shall follow in kind.
Can't escape from crossing fate.
Alright, grand finals of this TMN number 43, starting out here with the 4P in order to beat out the Yang, but going to get burst for their troubles. Another 4P coming out. This time it's going to be a happy birthday. Now already looking great here in this first game.
Night combo damage, not that bad, considering 5k. Oh, but it doesn't matter. Mr. Pengu tries to pose. Nice 4P, catching Naoto Kurgane in a very good situation. And now it's all Mr. Pengu's now.
Oh, armoring straight through everything, but managing to punish the 2-1-4A. Yeah, the street smarts, things are going on. Chaos everywhere here, but managing to parry right through that, but getting called out with a follow-up attack. Go in with the super between the gaps. This is not looking good for Noel.
Nice voice rate, keeping Akatsuki safe and giving a nice chunk of damage to Noel. Right now, Knight needs to be very, very mindful of when and where they display Noel. Nice, Peter able to block. No, the DP. Even though it hit Akatsuki, that meant that you can. So they need to be very, very careful.
Okay, going in for the throw here. Honestly, you know, one Divine Smasher is all it takes in order to seal out the deal here. What did I say?
Have been doing this for a long time, huh?
I saw the unsafe active swap and I was like, yep. All it takes is one.
What's this? A course or computer's course? Or did you just like...
No, I just predicted it.
It's a miracle then. Oh, great stuff.
Yep.
For Knight. Getting the first point on this set. So let's see if they're able to keep it up.
Double overhead reset. You know what? I can respect that type of energy. Going in for... I respect it. I think that was probably some type of Kara cancel.
5P being able to Jank. Very, very careful. It's not going to be like that much of damage. Oh, trying to go for a chicken overset perhaps. But still fine. They keep the momentum going. Keeping Jank in the current steal. Not being able to punish the burst steal, but it wasn't like that big.
Right, yeah, this Kuragane definitely looking quite strong here. Choosing to like fully optimize the combo for as much damage as possible. Ooh, okay, yeah, hard baiting that Yang, wanted her dead, but this is, you know what? I said it last time. I'll say it again. It's one away. Okay, they learned. The Divine Smasher still came out though.
Yeah, and it killed Jank regardless. Look at him killing Mr. Pengu once again. Losing sadly, but you know, Knight showing what they're made of. Just go, keep up. Divine Smasher being great as always. You know, right now 1 point away of making a reset.
Get ready.
Oh, I see. They decide to switch. You know, back to Yang, Ruby, Yam, perhaps, you know, Akatsuki and Yang might work very well, but nothing better than to play the main switch, you know?
Yeah, already a vote of confidence here with this round start, forcing out a burst too. 2B will be getting punished in a very tricky happy birthday situation here. Yeah, okay, you know what? I like that. Keep it burst safe for the most part. I don't like the part where they got happy birthday, but you know, stuff happens for sure, and suddenly Knight is on the back foot here, has their characters about as low as Mr. Pengu, but they got the semblance, so that means their damage output is going to go through the roof here. One-touch situation, and going to punish attempt on the Divine Smasher too. This is a lot of resources to be spent for something that might not go to victory here, but Knight not out of it yet.
Yeah, both. Oh. No, the 4B.
Unfortunate.
Looks like we won.
Both. Both of them have amazing 4Ps, but you know, Knight pulled the trigger first, and with that 4P in a very convincing fashion, it's able to reset the bracket, and you know, we're in true grand finals now. It's everybody's game.
Get ready.
All right, and like with that performance right there, you know, making that 3-1 loss in a winners quarterfinals look like a bit of a fluke. But you know, everything can change when it comes to the bracket reset, and this is Mr. Pengu's time to get adapted to what is going on here.
Trying to go for something of their own. Sadly, they got happy birthday out. Trying to go for something simple, not that complicated, just to, you know, end the corner very, very well. Very, very careful firecrackers on display. 5 being able to keep out of it. And now trying to go for perhaps maybe that was kind of weird. But still, Yang gets punished with a Divine Smasher. Very, very careful.
Alright, yeah, but keeping it all burst safe with that Phantom Pain, and this is just like the night roller coaster right now. Put in that sandwich situation, yeah, gonna be really difficult with that 4P to have to deal with, and an overhead cross up check 2. Knight still on a roll.
Yeah, that was great. Wow. This like this cross up was an amazing performance. Yeah, Knight, it's very, very knowledgeable of what this team can do. They know exactly when and where to utilize that kind of situations. 4P, as always, puts you in a great block stone. You put it in a 50-50 situation. Right now, Mr. Pengu doesn't look in a very great situation, but besides, it's still possible. But wow, Knight is going out for blood.
Right, yeah, that 4P and a hard burst call out would have been money there. Unfortunately, Noel going to be with the combo. Good block on the overhead, getting that cross up too. The pressure just does not stop here for Mr. Pengu.
Punishing the 5B attempt. Oh no! Into the 5B super armor. We have seen that many of times before. It always gets painful every time.
Yeah, they've been stuck in the corner so far. Gonna be slapping with the 5P. Very nice, calling out the 5P of their own. And yeah, they can loot that a couple times there. Almost a really nice burst safe conversion there. But Ruby will be firing back, getting back into this position here. Very dangerous for a lot of characters on the screen. DP will be coming out too. Wasting a lot of cash, but not going to get punished for it. But that sandwich situation, I don't know if I agree with bringing in that Yang, but it's A-okay. Going to be getting that kill.
Okay, right now, Knight, I think for the first time in this boss sequence, seems like they're in a disadvantage situation. Noel, in a 2v1 scenario, it's very, very hard to make something happen. Right now, after taking a super on the face, it's very, very hard. Still trying to get some damage going on, trying to use the time left on Resonance on his favor, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be an off-kill battle.
Yeah, and that 2B call-out might seal the deal with a CC combo here. Yeah, the Semblance Yang, I think this should be just enough to kill the Noel, and if it's not, it's actually going to be a miracle. Yeah, it's not.
Indeed. And with that, Mr. Pengu has shown, you know, that they're not out of it yet. They still have some spirit to fight. Being able to right now tie the score 1-1. Both players really want this victory, really want to show, you know, that they're made of the best. So yeah, let's see. I'm very, very curious if Mr. Pengu is going to, you know, keep the ball rolling, because sometimes it just takes one win to, you know, to make like a snowball effect.
Yeah, a bit of an error situation there. Swapping over into the Ruby. Noel coming out of that situation on top. But unfortunately dropping the combo too. This is yeah, very much a Noel situation. But getting that happy birthday with a 4P of the gods. Definitely the MVP of this set too. I think they... Okay, yeah, not going to be opting to cash out into anything. Can they get the punish? Yeah, Noel's run speed actually able to catch up.
Oh no, the armor ruined and make it that Noel super dropped, like not completely, like he wasn't able to trigger like the full super. That's such an unfortunate side of the things. And now Mr. Pengu has a chance to make it back, putting Naoto back in the corner. Jank in the corner is very, very Well, you don't need to care if you do Divine Smasher and get out of the court, just like that. But still, you need to be very, very careful of what all these tricks can do.
Yeah, very brave so far, keeping this Kurogane. Another Divine Smasher. Goten actually gonna kill, and the pushback actually keeping it safe from the Yang too, but it doesn't change the fact that the Kurogane RBB!
That doesn't happen. And it worked? For peace! Once again, catching up! Oh, they try. They have enough resources. Decide to not go for a cross combo, it's fine. They were able to build up enough bar for a super. And with that, Knight takes it to the third game. Now we are 2-1. We are one match away from taking the tournament, but Mr. Pengu still has a chance to make it through. Unbelievable.
Where is he?
Oh. The Divine Smasher was so hard that, you know, you pushed him out of the room.
Divine Smasher the game.
No, that just happens.
Man. We gotta wait. They still got a couple games left in them, man.
It's still pretty much possible that something can happen.
Thinky. But yeah, this has been a pretty intense set so far, and like I mentioned, the 4P has been an absolute killer here. It's been getting a lot of happy birthdays too. I've really been liking when Knight has been calling the 4P, and I mean it's a super active assist. It's bound to catch some things, to catch a lot of things, but like just where they're placing it, like generally like close enough to like where Yang is, while also being able to cover like maybe where an assist is being called. It's been like really good, like stuff like that. Just like put them in places where they can cover both the assist and the point character in order to get like nice happy birthday situations like that.
In the corner, he's very, very careful what they do. 5P trying to. Oh wow! Okay, it's super almost through the 5P actually switch, and now they have all advantage to go. Pretty much in a 180 to Noel, and now it's blocking these 6.
We're getting the overhead, but not confirming into a kill. Mr. Pengu getting a very clean confirm there in the air, spending some cash to guarantee that corner positioning to. Oh, gonna be Divine Smashing out of the situation though. Oh, okay, janky hit. Scramble situation's not going in anyone's favor, but that scramble situation is going in Mr. Pengu's favor. Dropping the combo, but managing to pick up the pieces here. Going to be tying up the set 2-2.
Wow. There's no way. From a bracket reset all the way to game 5. This has been the closest set of all the tournament, and it's fitting that is the end. So wow, no breaks at all, just run straight back into it. It's the literally tournament point of the game. So you know, stick up folks, and you know, let's see what happens. It's going to be very, very hype. Let's see who prevails, Mr. Pengu or Knight.
What a round start, and going over into Noel's favor. This is the exact type of situation you want to be in with Knight. Get that round start confirmed, get that corner position too, and gets the 5A but cannot keep it all. Burst safe, gets the counter hit call, does not believe in it. Ruby gonna be going right back in. The pressure keeps on mounting.
4P hitting, I don't know, once again being able to complete that. Stuff from both of them. 5P being able to punish the burst, but no confirm at all on Atmos part. It doesn't matter. 4P once again hitting on Jang, putting on the red. I think they're able to kill per se. They just need to optimize it more, but the burst mirror is still a thing. They're able to save Jang, but now Jang is in the rest of activating Semblances. Need to be very, very careful.
Yeah, but Knight keeps on getting all these bright calls on these throw baits and 4P calls, so this is going to be quite rough. And Yang has not popped Semblance either, so this is going to be rough, and they are Not able to. Yeah, they did the 5A into the 2-1 for C, so not able to get the full confirm or whatever, allowing Yang to get that comeback factor available. Get the 2A into the grab though. Mr. Pengu left with a solo level 4 residence and a dream sandwich situation.
Oh no! Going once again for the overhand and active switch crossover. Amazing stuff from Knight. Being able to take it and being the winner of TMN Neo face crossing number 43. Good stuff in a very convincing fashion too.
I'm actually a really good cook.
Damn. Yeah, and you know, Mr. Pengu really digging deep, I think, in order to make that game as close as it was. And you know, Knight was on a reign of terror and unfortunately could not stop it tonight. But hey, you know, making it to grand finals in a very emphatic fashion is very good stuff to them. But yeah, it's been a pretty exciting tournament overall. You know, a 13-person bracket, you know, gone in a blink of the eye. But yeah, you know, gotta give my end of tournament shout out as always. Thank you to my co-commentator Sykes for holding it down with me on the mic. It's always a pleasure to yap with you, and I hope we get to yap more in the future. And you know, gotta shout out our TO Zircon for holding it down on the bracket side, running things. As always, she does a really fantastic job making sure that these tournaments run smoothly as possible. And gotta give a big shout out to our streamer Nago for holding it down on the stream side, running things and keeping it all smooth here for Knight with no issues. I didn't want to say anything. I know I saw people talking about it. There were no issues tonight somehow.
It's a fucking miracle.
Actual miracle. But yeah, another big shout out to our players and of course our viewers for supporting the BB Tag scene as always, and especially supporting the TMN scene as well. Y'all are amazing, and I hope to see all of you more in the future. But I am Wald Lily signing off.
Of course. Thank you everybody for watching, for participating. Shoutouts to the beautiful people that are watching us right now, for the players that gave their all in the bracket, and of course shoutouts to Knight for Sweet Deal. I want to thank, of course, my co-commentator Lon Lily, that has commented with me many times, and I'm so happy to once again be back in business and had the opportunity and honor to be with him to make sense of all the things that happen on the screen. Of course, shoutouts to our TO Sekron and for Nago for keeping the team going. So yeah, I'm very happy to be back here. I'm very happy that TMN is back. And yeah, what can I say? But thank you and have a great evening.
Alrighty, with that all said, I want to give my thank yous to everyone here involved tonight, all the players who played today, giving us a great, wonderful tournament for our return. Thank you to all you watching here tonight, supporting us and really giving us a reason to be here outside of what we already do. And of course, thank you to both Lonley and Sykes for holding things down on the mic tonight. Well, they were wonderful as always, and always entertaining to have these two, and I'm glad to have them to show up for our grand return. And of course, gotta give a big shout out to Nago, who are holding things down on the stream end while my typical streamer Napier is out for a couple months. So yeah, if not for him, this would not have happened. So thank you. Yeah, Nago, you got anything you want to say? Oh, they can't hear you still, bro. Brother. Okay, never mind. He can't say anything to any of you. So. Yeah, he says thank you everyone, and hope you all return in 2 weeks. A sentiment that we all share. And with that, once we get the raid figured out, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. So have a good night, everyone.